Nobody Named Kevin podcast. Anybody in the room named Kevin?
Not I.
Not at all.
Okay. Dude, okay. Do y'all have LinkedIn? Y'all use it at all?
I have one,
No.
but I don't use it. It's like
Okay, let's get on.
It's like the experienced professional social media. I'm just not
You
there
should get
yet.
on. Not because you're missing out, but not for the reasons you think. It's terrible. So
What?
it's like everyone, like that level of fakeness that you have to bring to like meetings. Imagine that being turned on all the time, and imagine every single person you connect with thinking like they're the next influential like CEO, and like if you have a profile like it's like, you know, people on Facebook quote themselves, but like on LinkedIn, like they make their own image of themselves quoting themselves and share it themselves. It's not like, I don't know. And it's like the most random people of like, just imagine me like Devin, like a photo of me quoting myself that I made and I'm posting it myself. I don't know, instead of somebody else posting. It's just so awkward. And then like the other day,
personal
like
brand.
really, dude, it's all about personal brand.
That's like next level smugness, though, dude.
They're not being smug. They're thinking like, they're like, this is it. This is but what's funny is that if you try to be quotable, it's not. Most quotes are taken out of a long conversation. It's like a one little snippet.
Yeah, because you know who like gets famous for quotes? People who don't quote themselves.
Yes, they got quoted. Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody took a snippet of what they said. They're like, that part of it made sense.
Yeah, we both know I took a shot at someone for that.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. Dude, so here's what spawned this. Okay, so Rush Limbaugh dies. Okay, and I know no one in our generation was like a Rush Limbaugh fan.
Whoa, bro,
I
speak
barely
for yourself. I used to get in on that when I was younger. All day, bro. That was what my dad had blaring in the car.
Okay, I'm not surprised. But the CEO of like Gravity Payments or Grav Payments, the company is not important. Important is the guy, he made this long, and here's the other thing on LinkedIn. You think people on Facebook write novels? They write them on LinkedIn too, okay, but they're all about themselves. It starts out with like, he's like, you know, Rush Limbaugh doubted my company because he got in the news, the CEO, because he raised his minimum wage at his company to $70K. Like the lowest anyone's going to make is $70K. And obviously that's going to catch attention. And his long story, right? And he's like, Rush Limbaugh called us out. He said, we're going to be an NBA case study, you know, out of like a failure, not out of a good reason. 5 years later, they're still there. They're making more money. They're more profitable. They have happy employees. It's just this long, and you're starting to catch on what's going on as you're reading the story. And he's like, you know, basically Rush Limbaugh doubted me. And then he ends it with like, you know, I'm not glad that he's dead, but I'm glad that he can't speak anymore. And it's really just this big advertisement for his own company. And it's like, dude, you are glad he's dead. What? I'm not glad you're dead, but I'm glad you're unable to do things that alive people can do.
Good Lord.
What even is that? And like, people are calling him out in the comments like, actually, you are glad he's dead. And then like, some people are like, just called it what it is. It's like, so this was just one big marketing thing for your own company. He's like, no, not at all.
I can never admit to that. Dude, you can't admit when you're clout chasing, bro. You have to play dumb and pretend it never happened. You cannot.
Dude.
You can't open up to being clout chasing, dude.
Dude, it's so much cringe, dude. Like y'all should get on there. Like I don't post. If you see me posting, just know there's a gun to my head and I'm having to do it for work or something. But like, it's like, there was one I saw yesterday. So the lady who does Bumble, she just became the first
like
female CEO billionaire, something like that. Something like it was a historic moment. And this guy's tagging her and posting photos of her and is like, how historic this is. And he's like, I don't have daughters, but I'm going to let my sons know how great this is and stuff.
Okay. Strange flex.
That's like the weirdest attempt at simp.
It's like everyone's like, okay, this thing happened, but how can I make this about my company and my personal brand? And they're so blatant with it.
Dude.
This is LinkedIn? I thought LinkedIn was like an Indeed, bro. I didn't even know.
No, it's like a business social media is the idea where you post like job listings and stuff like that, but it's supposed to be like an online resume kind of deal where you kind of just advertise yourself on there and try to get companies to send you stuff to apply to and stuff. It's weird. I don't fully understand it, but
it's all business stuff. Like, you only post about work. Here's what we did at work, or you share other business stuff. Imagine everybody wants to be Gary Vee, okay? And they're all locked in a room together. And yeah, there's jobs on there. You can apply for jobs and stuff like that. And it's just so weird because then you can see who views your page. Anytime somebody views your page, you get a notification. So that's a weird thing about it too. So when you click somebody's page, you're also giving that person notifications like so-and-so looked at your page.
Well, I mean, if it's all about networking, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't want to click on anybody's page because, like, what if I'm genuinely, what is this person? And then now I'm just, like, thinking about the idea that, like, I don't know, like, I picture, like, laying in my bedroom and someone just kind of taps on my window every time that happens. Like, me doing that to somebody else, like, hey, Devin Gray's in your window. It's like, okay. I drove by your house. That's what it feels like.
Dude, man, I just can't with LinkedIn, bro. It's just one of those things that I'm like, I have no want to be a part of. I'm not at the level of success where it's like, I should have a LinkedIn. I'm just like, if I have one.
No one is.
I am literally just looking to find a job application. That's it. Like, I'm not there to actually pretend like I've done something.
Hold on, Clayton. I'm not successful enough to have a LinkedIn. No one needs a LinkedIn. Gary Vee, LinkedIn could be deleted and every millionaire is still a millionaire. Okay, so there's no level of success to get it. Like, I don't see the point of the networking, and I don't either. Because it's just like, all I get my messages are like, hey, you looking for a way to make some additional income? It's like,
join our MLM.
That's how, dude. Well, that's how drug deals start. And that's how, like, trafficking starts. Hey, trying to find some way to make some more money on the side. And they're all in my DMs. It's constant, okay? It has nothing to do with, like, well, it's because your resume is on there, Devin. No, it's because I added them as a friend. Now they're, like, another potential client. Yeah, that's all that is. You know what I mean? So, like, my whole inbox, and then I forget to I say yes, and then don't ever reply. And then they're like, hey, just checking back. Is Monday good? And I just never reply.
Those poor people.
Just leading them on, dude.
I give them one lead on. Yeah, sure. And it's always a scam.
Dude.
I say yes just to see what it is. It's like, well, you're going to make like $5,000 at home a week. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure I will.
You told me it's like those YouTube videos where it's like you could make $10,000, every day for the rest of your life if you just followed these 7 easy steps that nobody else wants you to know.
Mm-hmm.
Step 1 through 6, get a gun. Step 7, find a bank.
Didn't find this video very informative. Didn't tell me what to do once I found the bank.
You're just standing in there with a gun.
I don't know why I'm here.
Hold on.
He hasn't gotten to the next step yet. He's saying I have to go to his website and apply for some membership. It's Give me a second. I'll come back.
There's a free PDF I'm waiting to download.
Do y'all have Wi-Fi in here?
Yeah. The cops are here. That wasn't part of the video, sir. Thumbs down.
That wasn't part of the video.
Remember, while you're getting hauled away, like, comment, and subscribe.
Here's the thing. If I can make $5,000 a week from home at your part-time opportunity, do you not think this would be on Indeed? Or do you not think a lot of people would already be doing it? Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you be DMing me? I don't know. I just like, it's like, and again, it's the old rule. Sounds too good to be true. It probably is, right? It's just so many things of like, what?
I just love the ones that are all pyramid schemes. Those are the ones that get me of like, no. So you get enough people below you and then you're near the top. It's not a pyramid scheme, though. But if you draw lines around it, it's a pyramid. No.
It's a line.
It's multi-level market.
We're going to line.
Yeah.
It's a line. There's no pyramid. Like, dude, I can't stand that so much. Like, dude, no MLM makes money. Like, there's a couple out there. Sorry, they're going to be the only ones out there forever. Like, I think, like, Mary Kay's like that, where it's like an MLM. I mean, people can make money at it. But most of the time, it just turns into you trying to talk your family into buying it from you because you don't know where else to try.
Dude, look, you just don't grind enough. You don't want it bad enough. All right, that's all it is. Okay, stop it. I remember Avon was a thing growing up. I remember like everybody's mom and grandma sold Avon.
Yep.
You'd have an Avon party, which was like a sales presentation, really.
Like, someone made money off of it. It just wasn't you.
Yeah, all the top people that, you know, got everybody signed up. Yeah, to sell it. Yeah. Or the people who invented Avon. Like, that's it. Like just like that conversation we had about OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's a lot of people making a lot of money, but OnlyFans, the people who made the website are making the most. Yeah, the people who own the platform. Yeah.
Well, then on top of it too, like, it's just kind of a flooded market now. You know what I mean? Like,
which one?
OnlyFans. Like, to me, it's like a flooded market, dude. Like, any girl you look up apparently has one, and they get like 30 subscribers, and they're still working a normal job. They're not the one that's flying in private jets and is paying everything with it, already retired. Like, sorry, you're not the Belle Delphine of OnlyFans. Sorry.
Still side money, though. It's just like Ubering or selling shit online.
It's side money. I just can't stand the people who try to like, I just don't see it ever taking off. Like, it seems like a flooded market. I don't know how to describe
Instagram. So is being an influencer.
Yeah.
Being a YouTuber. People still do it.
I mean, I don't disagree, but it's also like there is this part of realism that you have to have. Like, what makes you different from the rest when it literally only comes down to looks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, YouTube,
Not necessarily.
Hey, hold up there, buddy.
People get attached to your characters, your fetishes, whatever you're willing to do. I mean,
dude,
you can get crazy with some household objects.
Here's my thing, though. Like, I don't disagree. Can it happen? Yes. But, like, YouTube, you can literally put the work in on YouTube and make it somewhere. You just have to try your hardest. Even then,
it's the same thing, though. What sets you apart?
Dude, that's just it, though. There's a talent level in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, looks
isn't talent in sex work.
Dude, here's my thing. Sex work is different. Like, I don't consider, like, OnlyFans technically sex work. I feel like that's a weird label to put on it. Because, like, I think more like porn stars are sex work. Like, if I send pictures of my feet and people are getting off to it, is it technically sex work?
Dude, okay, here's the thing, though. I think you might be underestimating OnlyFans, because I think the perception is it's just still photos. Some people still, yes. But at this point in time, because flooded, trying to be the best, and, you know, people bringing in different things to the community, like, it's just straight up porn, paying for it. Like, it is just paying. Yeah, you private chats. It's like,
there's some you pay subscriptions. You can text them all month. You can be part of their private Snapchat. Yeah. They'll make you feel special. There's all that bullshit, dude.
I can't bring myself to pay for porn. I've done it just to see if it was worth it. Not worth it. It's not worth it. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to see it in 4K. It was that part of me. Curiosity killed the cat, man. I had to know.
And all you got out of it was 4K.
Like, you get 4K, you can download the videos and stuff like that, and you get the full-length videos, and it's like, dude, let's be honest. I'm watching this for 3 minutes, and then I'm done, okay? I don't need an hour, okay? Like, I don't know who's sitting here watching it for an hour for the storyline. Not me. Not happening.
Hey,
it was not
for a Saturday night.
It was not worth it, bro. It was a throwaway of money. And like the same thing with OnlyFans. If that's what you want to do, fine by me. Do what you want. But it's just not. Like, I'm against it. It's never gonna appeal to me. I'm not paying for that.
Oh no, I've never paid for it. I refuse. Fuck
no,
me.
Look. I am all for somebody doing it. Multiple people doing it. Because a wise man once said, "There's always room for the best." Okay, so whatever it is, do it. Because I mean, it's like, you know, it's just like anything. Yeah, I mean, and hey, some people, yeah, like it's extra money. Maybe they're making $9 an hour right now, and they're like, "Dude, I've been doing this for free. If I can get some supplemental income, pay some of these student loans off, so be it." So freaking be it. And then if you already have a personal brand like Belle, or what was there was Belle Delphine. There was another girl that the day she did it, she was instantly a millionaire. I can't think of her name.
Bella Thorne, but she didn't.
She was a superstar already, though. She was like a celebrity.
She had a following already.
Dude, but there was a huge controversy with that because she joined OnlyFans, and apparently, I still don't know what was actually said, but apparently she joined OnlyFans saying, "Hey, I'm going to do nude content." And it was like, hell yeah, I want to see that. And then she was like, "No, I never said I was going to do nude content." And it's like, why are you here? Why are you on OnlyFans then? Like, to be personally honest, I'm not going to pay some extra money to watch you take pictures of like just your normal life. Like, I'm sorry, you can be a celebrity, you're not that interesting to me. Even if Jeff Bezos was like $5, I'll give you a couple pictures of what I do throughout my day. No, thank you. I really don't care.
Shave your head.
Are you, what, for me letting you shave my head for $5?
No, Bezos. Like, I want to see you shave your head in the morning. I'll pay $5 for it.
Yeah, he's never going to be like, yeah, I'll do that for $5. If he does it, he'll turn it into some like giant crowd fund so that he can use it as a tax write-off for charity. Like, let's be honest. Simple.
He just buys OnlyFans. Like, this is actually a better idea.
God.
We're gonna have drones walking around their house live all day. Live feed drones flying around, just monitoring what they do. You're gonna pay a little extra more money. We're gonna airdrop you their bath water. Whatever you want, we can do in the land of the future of Amazon.
You know how many people would end up canceled from that? Having drones follow them around all day. Like, dude, think about half the things you say in private, bro. No one's watching.
I mean,
you would get canceled so quick if you had drones following you all the time, live broadcasting 24/7. Like, bro, you better hope you don't fall asleep and say the N-word. You'd be screwed.
Okay, there had to be some sort of break.
It's not like
no, dude, 24/7. No, there's a market out there to watch people sleep, bro. There's a market out there for watching people sleep. You know it's out there.
My point is that they would still probably have an 8-hour work shift. Like, it wouldn't just be like, now that it's a drone, I'm just going to do this 24 hours.
Nah, you signed a contract.
Dude,
okay, they signed a contract, then they're getting benefits. So,
yeah, okay, you go. Dude, there's people that live stream themselves sleeping, and there's one on YouTube. The guy, idiot, bro, he's sleeping on live stream, and he has an Amazon Alexa next to his bed. So, you know how you can donate in Twitch, it'll auto-read your shout-out?
Yeah.
It was like, hey, Alexa, call the police. Hey!
Dude, I love that.
Awesome.
Dude, that was the thing for a while. Same thing happened when Xbox did it.
Yeah, it was hey, Alexa, order an iPhone 11 Pro. He's like, hey! It's hilarious.
Dude, I couldn't do that. I could not have my life broadcasted 24/7. I couldn't do that. That would, I would get so worn out because, like, there's that part of you that, like, in the beginning, you're going to give it your all every day, day in, day out. Give it, like, a week. You're exhausted. You
First
don't
3 hours.
care anymore.
First hour, dude.
Yeah, guys. This is my bedroom. I'm going to sit here and watch Netflix. Hopefully we don't get any interference from the drone.
Yeah.
Couldn't be.
Dude.
You'd be surprised.
Bro.
People would watch, yeah, for sure. I mean,
it's just like a reality TV show.
Imagine that.
Dude, no,
Bro.
Reality TV scripted. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, that's scripted.
Like,
that's true.
it would not be as
you know what's
entertaining
thinking?
as reality TV.
Like, you have, like, you know how you channel surf? It would be that, and it would just be different people sitting in their living room. Like, some people fiddling on a guitar, some people just eating, and just, like, boring, next. And then, like, somebody's, like, a family, and they're playing a board game, and you're like, okay, let's watch this for a bit. It's like, that's what it would be like.
No, dude, you'd end up getting weird. It'd be like Twitch. You'd end up getting flamed in chat for making the wrong play in Monopoly. Like, how dare you roll snake eyes, you idiot. Like,
your
Monka
8-year-old
S, bro.
Ban
Pepe
him.
That's
laugh.
what I was thinking.
Like, bro, $20 to flip the board.
I will revoke my donation unless you do this. Did y'all read the Coca-Cola thing I sent y'all?
Dude,
Briefly.
Honestly,
no, don't pull it up now, but yeah, they got flamed for a non-racial training.
Dude,
non-racial reverse.
My thing is, I'm cautious to understand like how real it is. But I mean, it makes sense, dude. If it's real, it's plausible enough that I can believe that it's real. Like, it's so funny how many companies try so hard to be anti-racist and not be anti-gay. They want inclusion, they want diversity and stuff like that. That they miss the boat completely because they're so out of touch. But I mean, no, like, let's be honest, dude. The internet does not care. It does feel like the internet does not care about stuff like that. Like, you can't hurt a white person's feelings. That's just the rules.
I think you can. I think you can really hurt a white person's feelings.
You definitely can. It's just the rule.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Like, I don't agree with it. I feel like, dude, if you're a horrible person, you're a horrible person. Like, doesn't matter like what color you are or anything like that, what race you are, nationality, your sexuality, anything like that. Like, if you're a terrible person, I have the right to call you a terrible person. But these companies are just so out of touch.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're out of touch because they're like, I don't know what I need to say to keep every customer possible happy who currently buys our products. Because they know there's people out there who don't like the products. Like, okay, that's fine. It's just not for you. But they have to keep everyone they currently have. And everyone they currently have is multi-demographic. And it's like, oh my gosh, if we don't say something, we're in trouble. If we do say something, we're in trouble. How do we please everyone? But the training was like, it was how to be less white. And what they meant was to, like, how to be less unintentionally racist. Because like okay, if you're not a colored person, right, a lot of times you'll ask them questions that you think are fine, but they get offended at. You know what I mean? You're like, why is your hair like that? Hey, are you actually from another country? And it's like, you just mean a question, but you don't know. Like, you might be hurting someone's feeling sensitive, whatever. Dude, but the training was like how to be less white.
Bro, so like
that was the training.
I've like our company made us take like diversity training and stuff like that. They made us watch videos on it. And it was the same thing talking about like unconscious bias and everything like that. And it's like, dude, it's one of those things I understand you have to address, but it's just blowing my mind that this has to be something that's taught nowadays. It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, dude.
Oh, really, dude?
I mean, if you're telling me that does not surprise you at all, that in the time that we were kids, because, like, it wasn't always like this. But the fact that like so many people are okay with just being blatantly racist, that it feels like they have to come through and essentially be like, hey, by the way, don't be racist at work. Like,
well, I think it's necessary for them to say don't be racist at work. That's just how bad it is.
It's like, mind-boggling to me that that's a problem we have to address in the first place.
Okay, I'm with you now. Okay.
It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, how hard is it to just say,
Trump was president, dude?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I feel like that's
it has to, bro. That's when it all changed.
To blame
That's when it changed.
Bro, to blame it solely on him is ignorance, dude. I don't disagree that like he did make it.
You just said our childhood it didn't exist,
bro.
So Bush Obama era, the next era was Trump.
Bro, I don't know about you, but I heard some blatantly racist comments when Obama was president, and that was before Trump.
Yes, that's true. Not as open though. Not as much, like not as open.
You're gonna tell me when I was like,
it did get pretty racist.
Bro, are you kidding me?
When there was a black guy in office.
At like 16, dude? No, I'm 16 years old with people I don't know that well who are feeling it's okay to make racist comments about the president at that point.
I understand, like, it did get racist because he was a black president, but the difference is it became racist as in, like, they were attacking him. Trump got into office and he was like, yo, I'm not really going to demonize you or condemn you for doing it. It happens, you know. He was just that. He was just like
really draw the line.
Yes, exactly. He was just like, oh yeah, that guy that ran over those people, you know, there's bad people, both sides. Yeah, you know, like he just doesn't care, dude. So people like.
I get what you're saying, but to blame to the that store fully and just on Trump drop is outrageous,
dude. Having Trump in office was them coming out and being like, it's okay to be racist, guys. All his supporters, dude. I see it so much at work during when he was there. Like a customer coming in, he asked me, he's like, what channels come on this cable listing? And I started going down. And when I hit Fox Sports West, he was like, I don't watch anything with, you know, N-word and F-word for gay people. And I was like, whoa, that was out of nowhere. And he just looked me dead in the eye. And I was like, so do you want to sign up for this? He's like, nope. And he just walked out. I was like, what was that?
I love
what was that?
Okay. Sorry. Side note before we get back on this. I love the fact that our job is so bad that it's not like we can address this racism because if we address it, we'll be fired immediately. But the fact that we are like, yeah, but do you still want to buy it? Because your social still works, right? Like, I'm trying to make a paycheck here, bud. Like, you can be as racist as you want if that money keeps flowing.
Bro, think about it. Think about it, dude. It doesn't matter where we're working. If I'm selling chicken sandwiches, you might have somebody tied up in your yard. Just buy the sandwich and leave. I have a job to do, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, I mean, but
if you're at the drive-thru and you're like, hey man, like, you know, like, hey, here's your spicy chicken sandwich, and then like, by the way, I have somebody tied up in my yard that I barely feed. Be like, awesome. Do you need any extra sauce? I'm not here to solve the world's problems. I'm handing out chicken sandwiches.
Wait, I want to go back to Clayton real quick. I want to just say, I'm not trying to say all racism comes because of Trump or something. I'm not an idiot. I'm not naive. I'm just saying, like, it was always been boiling.
Like that.
It's always been boiling, but Trump was able to like basically come out and like, it's okay for you guys to say this openly. Like, I saw this meme the other day. This lady was on Facebook. She was like, the media won't let the right talk about what we want to talk about. And the comment below was like, y'all can't talk about lowering taxes. She's like, no, not that. He's like, y'all can't talk about deregulation. He's like, no, not that. She's like, lowering the debt? No, not that. And he's like, well, what is it then? She's like, you know, the other things. What other things?
Here's my thing with it. No, like here's my thing. I don't believe that Trump is the reason it's that way. I feel like the reason why it's that way is like it's not because of Trump itself. Not that he made it okay, but he made us look at it more critically. You know what I mean? I feel like he did
open my mind.
I'm saying that Like, here's my
There's
thing.
a video
No,
of a lady
God.
screaming at a guy who was leaf blowing. She's like,
don't even let me get a word in.
Let Clayton finish.
Yeah.
Let Clayton finish.
But what I'm saying is, like, dude, these people were blatantly racist. We saw it all throughout Obama and everything like that, of people making racist comments to it. Nobody said a word about it. No one tried to cancel anyone for it. The only reason it came about is because Trump put more of a spotlight on it. Obama never addressed the fact that people were being racist to him or anything like that. He never addressed it. Trump put a spotlight on it.
Could he have? Ooh,
He could have.
That is interesting.
Are you kidding me? The president, you're telling me the president of the United States couldn't have been like, I love the fact that half our country is blatantly being racist towards me.
Oh, dude, Obama would have been impeached. There would have been a riot.
Impeached for what?
No.
He wore a tan suit, and he was a horrible person.
Bro, but what I'm saying is, like, the whole point of it is the fact that, like, he didn't put a spotlight on it. Trump did. Trump said things that were inappropriate, stuff like that. I'll give you that, but to blame him solely for it, no. All he did was make us put a spotlight on it. It was there way before.
I'll say this. Impeachment comes from cancel culture. That is a huge thing, because now every time we don't like something, they want a person impeached. This is not exclusive to Trump. Literally, the ball is rolling now. As soon as we don't like an official, they will be questioned or asked to be impeached, because that is part of cancel culture, like it or not. Like, he's already out of office. Dude, the guy's gone, and people are still like, but he must be impeached. And I'm like, dude, why? They want to strip him of his benefits.
That's not
that's not the only thing.
The benefits.
They want to strip him for benefits, obviously, but they also want to make it sure that he can never hold public office ever again. He can't run again.
Is that not a benefit?
Not really, because, like, at the end of the day, because here's the thing, a benefit is like something guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like, he's guaranteed a pension, everything like that. He's not guaranteed that he can win again. But if they go through, they impeach him, he can't run again. He can't hold any public office. He can't even be a mayor. Like, does not matter. There's multiple prongs to the attack that happened. But the fact to say of, like, that it's literally like that, like, they want to impeach anyone that they don't like. My argument is that, bro, he did something no other president has ever done. He rallied an insurrection to happen. No other president has done that before. And they're like, whoa, to impeach a president out of office is it's unheard of. It's never happened before. Yeah, because we never had a president try to overthrow our own government. Yeah, that's a little weird.
Look, guys, when insurgence happens, push comes to shove. But that's when he was in office. Totally makes sense. Totally agree. Yeah, he's making history, and sure. But he's gone. He's gone.
He's still a powerful man.
Side note, you want to know what
Uncle Joe.
You know what I realized, though, very quickly after all that, the insurrection happened? I had a lot less people coming into my work saying Trump won the election.
Dude,
I had a lot more people understand, like, you shut your mouth and stop trying to overthrow democracy.
Dude. I'll say at least this much. Biden's America is not very exciting. There's no daily panic. There's no World War threats. Look what our president said.
Whoa.
It's like Sleepy Joe, and they wear cool socks sometimes.
Wait. Bro, we got drama. What are you talking about? We've got Cancun. We got Cancun cruise, baby. We got the new opening of the concentration camp, as Fox would have you believe it. Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah,
Cancun
dude. Because
we claim that. We claim that, and also I claim Trump as part of Cancun cruise.
Okay. I'll give you ties.
You see where I'm going with that, though.
Ties, I get it, because he's trying to rebrand from the, like, I helped overthrow the government. He's trying to rebrand. I get it. Cool. Do your thing, bro. I'm not going to blow you up for it. But
Zodiac Killer gets a pass.
But no, what I was talking about is they reopened a like a border building like that had people in cages and stuff like that the Democrats forced to close. Now Biden reopened it because they apparently, I haven't looked enough into it to be like factually accurate on it, but to my understanding, they reopened it because they had so many kids trying to sneak across the border and stuff like that. So they reopened it for asylum.
So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think he let in 8,000 migrants that were at the border from South America. And right now, I heard there's like another big group who's coming up from like Honduras or something, and they're like at the border of Guatemala right now. But I don't
like. Here's my thing though. Like, I can understand the Republicans screaming the hypocrisy on this, because it's like, dude, COVID's still happening. Why are you opening these borders? Like, you were all about like keep the borders open. Then we found out it was real, and you're like, wow, why didn't he close it sooner? So, like, I get them calling hypocrisy on it. I 100% agree. You're going to, like, you can't take one stance and then backtrack on it once you're in office.
So he did open them, but he also put in regulation for actually wearing a mask and getting a COVID test. So when Selena went to Guatemala, and before Trump, when Trump was still in office, you needed a test to get into Guatemala. But when she came back to get in the United States, you don't need a test. You can just walk around. And she landed in Florida. They don't enforce the mask. But now, when she came back this year, when she came back in February, she had to get a test before she could enter the United States.
My thing is, if it's that serious, why are we open at all to letting immigrants in? You know what I mean? Like, if it's as serious as it is,
bro,
I'm not racist. I don't care. If you want to come across the border, that's fine. But in a situation like this, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with public safety and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, we're testing, we're doing this. Like, dude, tests still show false negatives. It happens. Like, false positives, stuff like that. Like, that, we all know those are a reality. Slim. But if it's as big deal as they say, like, why are we opening it up? Why
because
is it closed?
we have citizens that are still leaving and coming back, and I would agree with that. Like, we should be closed if as a country we're actually closed, but we're not. We're still going at full capacity.
Like, that's my problem. If it's as serious as everyone made it out to be, which, like, I think it's serious, but I don't feel like anyone's holding their stance on being serious on it at all.
Dude, if Biden like, tried to like close us down for 2 weeks right now, people would think like it would start like a huge deal. Like, he's gonna have to wean his way into this.
I would be, dude. And the thing is, honestly, I would be on their side with that, because the problem is, it's like, what happened to all the small businesses last time, like the first time we tried? How many businesses got wiped out? Of course, no big businesses got wiped out, but a lot of small businesses got wiped out. You tell them, you can't stay open. You Mr. Small Business, you can't open up. But all these big barns, you keep doing as you please, because you almost create our GDP. So like, no, I'd be on their side. And at this point, what are we doing closing down? Like you just said, we're open as a country.
Nothing. Yeah.
So it's like you kind of get to the argument of like, why not open the? I don't
mean
immigration,
weird,
but
like,
the travel.
Like I would understand, like, try not to use names here, but like my coworkers' frustration with it, because her second job got shut down because it was restaurant, bar business, like, but that's small business. AT&T has not closed a single day. We see people face to face all day. When did we close? Did we close?
Well,
they had some. I thought they had some corporate stores closed at the very beginning of it.
So they closed corporate locations that were like mall based and stuff like that. That
makes sense.
They never fully closed. They closed the hot spots where they felt they needed to close. They kept the rural stores open because their idea behind it was less traffic, less of a risk. Our customers can still get the help that they need. But AT&T, on the other hand, is considered an essential business. I understand it. As outlandish as it seems, like grandma's phone doesn't work, family can't get a hold of her, family panics. Get it? We don't want to cause that. I understand.
I understand all that. I was just saying with Devin, I understand the frustration. Like, I have a customer that she works at Walmart, and she's been working at Walmart a year, but she's a hairstylist. I'm like, well, why don't you do that? She's like, I can't. Like, the salons are they're still not open. Or like, if like there's certain ones are, it's like strictly by appointment, one person in at a time, and like she can't make enough. And I know it's not essential, but I understand like the frustration there. And it's like either be all the way open or all the way shut down. This like halfway thing just hurts people on the bottom and doesn't fix anything.
That also comes down to kind of your local government too, because like we're not in California or anything like that. So like we have a haircutting place right next to us. That place has been open. They've had a few COVID deals happen. They shut down. They do like you come in, you check in, you go wait in your car. They'll have multiple people in there. You got to wear your mask. Like it can be done. And they are strict on the mask. I've seen them walk people and be like, go get your mask from your car. We're not playing this.
Haircut, I guess because they have to get close. My barber, like you're only the client and the barber's allowed. It's crazy.
It depends on the setup though too, because like you can go to salons and stuff like that. And it's like, I think it's a pretty well-known open, like, it's a small building, but multiple people come in, like a barber shop. It all kind of comes down to of like, bro, are y'all putting the plexiglass up? Like, it comes down to can y'all just follow the rules the right way? But it also comes down to your local government. If your local government's still saying no, those can't be open, that's not like federal government. That's your local government telling you can't do that. So it's like, I understand like you can't take a 50-50 on it when it comes to something like opening back up. But it's also like, dude, if people would just follow the rules, we wouldn't have businesses closed down. But every person walks in and they're like, well, sir, you have to have a mask to enter. Well, I don't want to wear a mask. Okay, cool. You're the reason all these other businesses can't open up because people like you want to cause problems. Like, just follow it. It'll open back up. We go for a little bit. Eventually the masks come off and it's not a mandate because we've beaten the thing. I don't know why it has to be a dead set stance. Like, just follow the rules. It's that simple.
And here's the thing. Like, of course, I'm going to follow the rules if my employer requires it, right? I'm not going to, like, stand up against my company as some, like, patriot. But the thing is, like, with the cloth ones, don't do anything. You can blow right through them. That means they do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, if you can blow through it, then it does nothing. Okay. Dude, but then the other thing too is that like it's like it's been a year now, and I understand it's a new virus, right? I totally get that part of it, but it's like I don't know like how long it is going to be prolonged. And then also we all realize the hilarity of it. We all realize you walk 5 feet into a restaurant, take it back off. You get up, put it on, walk out the door, take it back. What is that 5 feet doing? And then if you sit at a bar at a restaurant, which dude, literally last night, that's where I went. All of us at the bar are not wearing our mask, conversing with each other.
Well, I mean,
and there's tables of 6 people.
Well, that's what
around us.
I'll agree with you. What are we doing? Like, restaurant ones make no sense, but then again, it's the argument of the same thing. Like, so I think I've had this discussion before of like why it doesn't make sense for them to try to solve an energy crisis when we've run on fossil fuels, because if they don't do it gradually, we have millions of people out of work. Quick, easy. They're at the point where it's hard for them to learn new skills and stuff like that. It's hard to pick back up. I get that. I understand. Think it's dumb. I'd rather go to the clean energy, but I understand the reasoning. Same thing when it comes to like restaurants being open. Like, bro, the restaurant industry and like food industry, if that's full on closed, we have so many people out of jobs. So it's like the argument of economy versus actual health safety. To sit here and be like, oh, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, the reason why it doesn't make sense to you is because they're trying to keep us still going.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, it's not even I would say economy thing. Well, it is economy, but the problem is when you say economy, people are like, you're just a capitalist pig. You don't care about people's lives. It's like, no, you realize you were a part of this economy. What you're saying is like, you know, when you say economy, I understand what you're saying. There's 20 people who work at that restaurant. Multiply that by the 5 restaurants right next to them. Now multiply that by the 15, 25 in town. Multiply by how many towns. That's a lot of people employed. Mm-hmm. I understand that. And that's how they stay open. But we have to realize, like, this is hilarious. We all know it's hilarious and it's goofy. It's like, what are we doing? What are we really doing? It's just to keep us open. But it's like, why do we do it? There's like strip clubs are open. Strip clubs are open. You can put your butthole up in my face but as long as I'm wearing my mask.
Here's the thing, though. Like, as funny as that is, though, it's still like, dude, the more we follow the rules, even if it's lax in that situation, the better it is. You know what I mean? As outlandish as it seems, if it even helps 1%, it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, what's 1% of 500,000 deaths that we've already had right now? Like, what if that 1% of following those rules could have prevented 1% of that?
Like 500 or something? I don't know.
Of 500,000?
Right. I get that.
Is that 500 people or 5,000? I don't know, dude. I don't do math.
But even then, like, it's like, dude, if you just follow it, even if it doesn't make sense to you, even if it's 1%, like that 1% could still be the difference between someone living or dying. It's like, granted, it may not be as dire as we thought. We've learned how to handle it a lot better. Our medicine has advanced on knowing how to treat it, and that's why we see it. Like, we've seen depressions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, if it's just 1%, if me wearing a mask prevents it 1%, cool. That mask is not a dying stance for me. I will wear the mask if it helps even just a little bit.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. I'm not going to stand out and be a patriot, but I'm like, can we not address the cloth ones do nothing? So why?
That's just it,
it's
though.
Like,
it's not.
Point, yeah.
Everyone says the cloths do nothing. They do something. It's the same thing. It's like a 1%. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that it does nothing. Like, don't you find it crazy that us wearing masks, and like, you can look at like research in the UK. You know how many flu cases they have this year?
Nah,
virtually non-existent, because we're wearing masks. So that influenza isn't spreading. Like, it's one of those things that if you're sick, like, it's one of those things I want to carry over. If you don't feel good, even if we're outside of coronavirus, if you don't feel good, hey, we get it. You're not supposed to be working, but you have to. Hey, wear a mask. Try to be as safe as you possibly can. Like, there's a reason why in a lot of Asian countries where wearing a mask is normalized, that sickness goes down way quickly. Like, they had better numbers than anyone because it was already a part of their culture of, if you don't feel good, wear the mask.
Yep. They had better numbers because of their free government and free media.
Mm-hmm. True.
No, I mean, I get it, dude. I get it. I mean, yeah, if it carries over, agreed. It won't, because we're Americans, but I'm with you on
it
that.
Won't, but honestly, like,
if I was sick,
I'll jump to
and I had
it.
to work, dude, I would. Like, if I needed to get a paycheck, and I would also wear an actual one. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't at that point put a T-shirt over my mouth. I would actually get an actual one that would do that. But yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's weird to me. But either way, I don't think we should just sit and harp on COVID and everything like that. Because no matter what you say, someone will bring up 9 million studies in one direction, and I can bring up 9 million studies in the other, and it just ends up going nowhere.
We can argue the virus away. Trust me.
If it worked like that, dude, America would already be done.
It would have been done day one.
Dude, we literally were like fighting with each other on this. So I think if that was the case, we would have been cured by now.
This is a civil war.
Yeah. Dude, South Park did it best.
Dude, they do it so well. They do everything so well.
Hey, pull your diaper up over your nose.
No, it wasn't even pull it up over your nose. It got to the point of like, dude, just put it on your chin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it degraded so much. Yeah, just put it on your chin.
Yeah, he went up and signed the Amazon package. They both have it on their chin.
That is the worst, dude. Like, when people I don't see it anymore, honestly, but when that first kicked off and they're wearing it over their chin, I'm like, what do you think you're doing? Like,
that looks more uncomfortable than just actually wearing it.
Dude, my favorite one is we have a guy that comes in who refuses to wear a mask because he feels he has to open carry.
What?
Yep. I have a guy, because it is, to my knowledge, a law that if you are open carrying a firearm, you are not allowed to wear a mask. Obviously, you are just using it as an excuse so you don't have to wear the mask. How about this? You can conceal carry like a smart person and wear your mask. Because, like, dude,
you open carry, you probably never have any problems anymore in public.
So there's disputing arguments when it comes to open carry versus concealed carry. Because in a tactical situation, if I'm concealed carrying and you're open carrying, guess who just became my number one target if I'm deciding to shoot?
Yep.
Cool. I know you're armed. You're the first person I take out, so you can't fight back. So, like, there's a lot of disputing arguments when it comes to open carry versus concealed carry. There's the argument of open carry, I'm ready to go, and it works as, like, I can ward off people and discourage them from doing it. And then there's also concealed carry of, like, if that situation ever comes up, I'm going to be able to tactically alleviate this situation because he's not going to expect me. I have the element of surprise.
I wish open carrying swords wouldn't make you look like a total virgin, but I'd be open to that.
I mean, honestly, I want the era of bringing back duels. Let me just duel some people out, bro.
The problem with dueling is it's predicated on the idea that these two guys are going to play fair. And never in the history can you trust someone else to play fair. So that's why it will never work.
Gentlemen's
we're not as honorable as we used to be.
Dude, what's crazy is, like, dueling and how quickly it came out of fashion. It literally, the reason why duels were so big is it just was like, I'm disrespecting you. What are you going to do? And if you don't stand up, I've just spat on your whole family. You're tarnished. No one will ever listen to you before, or, like, ever again. I'm like, dude.
Tarnished.
Let me get after that.
Yeah, dude, that was before, you had a social media brand. You actually had, like, a family legacy to carry on. How tragic. But yeah, like, dude, like, take 10 paces. It's like, you have to pray the other guy doesn't take 7 and turn around. And then
usually there's like,
and turn around.
Usually there's someone like watching.
That's fine. Kill the witness.
The reason why it was flintlocks. So sorry. Good luck killing the witness while you take a minute to reload and I'm halfway down the street. Good luck. You're not. I don't know if you know the effective range on a flintlock, but probably not even as good as your pistol nowadays. So not really worried about it. I wouldn't think so. So, like, now, the thing with flintlock is, like, flintlock extremely deadly, though. Like, extremely high kill rate. Like, if you get shot with the flintlock, bud, you're probably not going to make it. But the thing is, like, it literally came down to that, is people would come to witness the duel. So if you cheated, everyone knew you cheated. You defeated the whole purpose of going to the duel in the first place because you just dishonored your whole family. That's why duels were able to be honest. Now, if you go to, like, Wild West style, dude, duels weren't a real thing. In the Wild West, it was literally like, oh, cool, this dude's sitting in the saloon, walk up, pop a bullet in the back of his head, sit down, have a drink. Like, there were no real duels in the Wild West. That's all Hollywood.
Well, so that's, like, similar to today. Then there's there's a video of a guy playing a slot machine. A guy ran up and shot him in the blew his brains out in the back of the head and ran off. But
what?
Yeah, it's crazy. But, like, so it's very similar today. So yeah, the whole dishonor thing that mattered, with that, it's like, okay, that makes sense, dude. I can't think of the president, but they used to. When we had presidents, they had I can't remember who it was, but he was in like 5 or 6 duels. Maybe it was one of the earlier ones. Maybe one of the founding fathers.
Are you talking about the one that died?
Is it Hamilton?
Hamilton was was our sitting president that died in a duel.
Yeah, that was it. So today it would be like, maybe like a Forrest Griffin or Conor McGregor. Like, that guy fights. Our president fights.
Dude, I've had that wild theory of, like, run down the rabbit hole of, like, dude, what if we had it where, like, to settle world disputes, no more war. It came down to just fighting. You know what I mean?
Great.
The strongest guy is the guy that fights for your country. The problem is how many PEDs and stuff like that would be going on. But I'm also kind of juice your fighters to the gill. Let's get after this. Let's go.
Yeah, let's have super soldier versus super soldier. The problem is that, like, to go down that route, right? Like, that investment, you got to put 99 points in fighting and PEDs. And then you have no points to put in forward thinking, and maybe being a leader, an economic decision. You're just this really tough guy.
No. Stick with me.
Because you wanted war to. Okay.
We make it like a seat of office. This is our fighter that fights for us. You know what I mean? So you're a president. Not only do you have your president, your vice president, and then you have your dispute settler. And that's your fighter, bro. Juice to the gill. We're getting one every few years, bro. Oh, dude, he's had a nice 7-year streak, but is he washed up? Because we really can't afford to lose to Syria this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, let's juice him to the gills. Let's get after it. You know what it would do for the fight scene, bro?
Dude, people like y'all remember that genetically altered cow? That's how people would start looking.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I don't care. If Igor wants to go in there with his one eye but can kill a man in one punch, I'm down.
It would eventually turn into like gladiators.
Start
throwing weapons in there.
What's the problem with that? I don't understand. The dispute still gets settled. As long as it's between two people, I don't care.
It'll come full circle. It's like, okay, well, let's have 5 gladiators versus 5 gladiators.
Yeah.
And then it'll become, now we're back to armies. And it's like, we went full circle again.
Progress is progress, bro.
We have to have a clause in place.
Yeah, this is why we get a hold of the United Nations and we make this happen, okay? They're like the fight commission, okay?
The United Nations.
Yeah, they're the fight commission.
Run by Dana White.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White's got to be on the board.
Oh, bro. I'm telling you, it could go somewhere.
Dude, Joe's got to be the announcer.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you see that? Whoa.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Dude, do y'all remember the clip of Joe Rogan when he got banned and, like, had a giant fine for what he said during one of the UFC events? Dude, hilarious. I cried laughing. It was so funny. So there's 2 fighters. There was a white guy and a black guy, and black guy was wearing white shorts, and the white guy was wearing black shorts. And he goes, yeah, I forget how it led into this, but he was saying something, and he was like, this fighter is the guy is black. And he was like, I'm talking about the shorts. Hilarious, dude. Crying, laughing. It was hilarious.
God.
I want to look at the clip because I remember how funny it is. Because it's
talking about the shorts.
You can realize like he said it, and then he was like, I better correct that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm not with the boys right now.
I'm not in the compound sitting there chatting and having the, what do they call it? Like MMA hour or whatever.
He calls it the MMA show.
Yeah.
Or Fight Companion.
Fight Companion.
That depends. Fight Companion's when he live streams it, like it's streaming while they're talking. That's Fight Companion. The companion while you fight.
He realized it. He realized once he said it wasn't a Fight Companion, bro. Hilarious, dude. Funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, bro. Dude, so did y'all see that huge dip in crypto this week?
Yeah, it sucked.
Dude,
I
had no more money to throw at the dip. So
I'm mad because you know how we talked about that strategy last week of throwing it in a DAI coin? My crypto got over $100 gain on it, and I was like, I want to take this and throw this in a DAI coin. Like, I feel like this is the time. I didn't do it, and then we had the 14 dip, and I was like, if I had done that, that would have been the best strategy right then.
Yep. If you notice, when all the other ones dip, DAI spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I messed up, dude. I did the same thing.
Bro, I'm up like 50% my Carnival Cruise game, though.
I saw that.
Dude, I told you, I'm so upset that I didn't throw more money at it because I was like, I bet this will pay off. We'll have no idea, so I'm only going to put $50 in, but I feel like this is a smart investment. And now it really is a smart investment. I was like, God, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I put more money in?
Bro, GameStop just jumped to 91 today. $91. It's at 41. It's round 2. We missed that one too.
No, dude. That one is 100% a pump and dump scheme. First one, questionable on whether it was pump or dump. This one is for sure pump and dump. Because it's going to be all those people trying to relive the hype of the first time it happened. And it's like, it's not going to happen again. Quit doing it. Because the only people who are in now are greedy people.
Bro, how did you find the Ethereum 2.0,
I'm not greedy. I just
Devin?
want more money.
They sent out like a message about it. Like I got one too. I just didn't sign up for it.
It's on the it's on the top of Coinbase. It's like a banner. You know, it's like, oh, Algo rewards. It said, hey, join the wait list.
Huh.
Yeah. What's your name is Schwinn?
Yeah, for real.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. It's honestly like I'm not like I'm on the wait list. Honestly, dude, I'm probably like one of 300,000. So I'm like, all right, I'll probably be the last one on that gets notified.
I got off the wait list for Voyager, so I can move my Doge over there and get it out of Robinhood.
You
giving up on the Doge?
Boy.
No, I'm not giving up. I just finally can move it out of Robinhood and put it.
Don't get it twisted,
Voyager.
bro. Doge is going to $1.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, here's the funny thing though. If Elon doesn't shut up about Doge, like you have nobody. Like, dude, how many people are in the crypto scene who are so annoyed with Elon Musk mentioning Dogecoin because
Dude,
it's a meme
Reddit
coin that is
blowing up.
Dude. It's a meme coin that has no cap to how many they can make.
Mm-hmm.
And he's literally tweeting about it like it's the next big thing. It's like, dude.
Because he knows.
No,
he knows
why,
the meme. He's going to back it.
Why do you have to pick the absolute, like, worst crypto?
Because he gets the meme. He gets the meme. And if you buy it not accepting the meme, that's your own fault. But if you buy it and accept the meme, you understand you're burning money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like he even said, oh my gosh, I think it was TMZ like caught him outside of something and they were asking him questions and he said he's like, I have to be careful about what I say. He's like, because Dogecoin could be the future currency of the planet. And he's like, and then they're like, what do you think is the possibility of that? And he's like, you know, he answers in the most Elon Musk way, you know. He's like, well, honestly, like, usually the most ironic outcome is the true outcome. So, you know, who knows? And then it's like...
Dude, it's like he's the biggest internet troll.
Needless to say, I put my life savings in it.
You have no idea how annoyed I'll be. I really, like, Dogecoin makes no sense to be the next big crypto, except for Elon saying it.
So I had a question for y'all. What is... because I got into the Voyager and I noticed Voyager has a token, and then Uniswap, when I was doing some research, Uniswap is another exchange for tokens, like for coins. So it's like anytime an exchange pops up, do they get their own token? Just like crypto.com or whatever, they have a coin.
Well, that's one of the flags on crypto is anyone can make their own crypto.
Well, I've noticed like every exchange like Uniswap is an exchange called Uniswap where you can swap your stuff back and forth, but it's also a crypto. Like, it's really weird.
What I'm saying is anyone can have a crypto. They just happen to make a crypto with their platform. Does that make sense?
I wonder if it's like...
Because, like, anyone can make a crypto. There's a reason why Bitcoin is the most, like, stable one, and that's because there is a finite amount of it. Like, if you make your own, it doesn't, like, to my knowledge, if you make your own crypto, it seems like there's not a finite amount unless, set a finite amount, in which it's like, we are the only ones that know this process to mining it. We mine it. What we've mined is the only amount. We will not mine more unless the market needs it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Uniswap has a finite amount of, like, 24 million or something. But, like, in the description... it says Uniswap is an Ethereum token that powers Uniswap, an automated liquidity provider that designed to make it easy to exchange Ethereum tokens. So, like, it's just an exchange, but somehow it's also a token. Like, I don't know. For some reason that blows my mind.
And again, I don't know. I would tell you if I did. But my take on it is that that's their version of going public. Because you can buy stock on any public company. So, like, yeah, we're an exchange, here's how, we have our own coin. Here's how. It's the same as that. If the company does good, the coin will do good. Because one of the other big ones that's going to like get in now, it's the head of ADA. It's Cardano, but I think it's ADA coin. People are heavily talking about that one because they believe in the CEO. They're like, this is going to be a good project. They're like, all the other cryptos right now are slow and stupid. You'll make money, but it's slow and stupid. Like ADA will be the future, right? And then, they're making Ethereum 2.0.
I've heard that ADA or Cardano and Polkadot are the two. There were 3 creators for Ethereum, and they were the other 2, and they split off.
Yeah, if I recall correctly.
So how many things start like that, dude?
I'm pretty sure Doge got their start
y'all should get
like
Voyager,
that.
bro, because it's got Polkadot and ADA on there.
I want to say what happened with the start of Dogecoin is I want to say they got kicked off of some like crypto or something like that. Like 2 guys got banned off of crypto, like the cryptocurrency subreddit or something like that, and then they were like, okay, well, screw you guys, we'll make our own crypto, and they made a meme coin. I'm pretty sure like a lot of them got their start like that.
Well, the creator made a meme coin, and he made it out of irony to be like, look, this is like anybody can do this. And then he is surprised the fact that people are still doing it years later. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine him, he's the guy at the party that comes back 3 hours later and you're still quoting him. And he's like, guys, that was not that funny. And you're like, no, dude, say it again. Like,
say it again.
Yeah, say the line, dude. But no, I just mean like any company. Like Bumble is a dating app, and she made it. She was one of the founders of Tinder. Splits off, does her own dating app, billionaire. Which is like, so they're both insanely similar.
Isn't Bumble's like biggest thing of like the woman has to message first?
Yeah, so you can swipe just like Tinder, left and right. Well, actually, every dating app has adopted the left and right thing. But if you match, the girl has to initiate the conversation, and I think they only have like 24 hours to do so, or something weird. They have like a ticking time bomb on it. But yes, the girl has to initiate the conversation. Which
does it do anything? Because they just send you hey.
The only person that messaged me was someone I knew from school, so it's like it almost didn't count. But because it's like one of those, it's always, hey, what are you doing on here? Same thing you're doing. But the funny thing is like her idea was like, kind of like a women thing, like a women, like we got like, we don't need guys being weird about stuff. Like women makes the first move. And then she thought she was doing right. She thought she was doing something good. But again, you can't do anything right. You can't do anything good. People were outspoken or like, this is just putting more pressure on the women in the dating scene. Like, can nobody do anything right? Like what?
I don't. My thing is like, it does just show hypocrisy on the side of like, oh, the woman has to message first, and like how Tinder is so like, you better hit me with your best line, and if I don't like it, I'm unmatching. And it's like, okay, Bumble, the woman has to initiate it first. All right, hey, now send me your best thing. You know what I mean? It's like a weird thing that I'm like, I get the requirement of let's have them initiate first. Like, it's a good idea. It's just like, it's almost as if they don't want that. It's just another dating service that they have because, Tinder dried up.
Dude, I'm sorry. 2 more things about Doge. Just because y'all are talking about it. I just pulled up the subreddit. It's going to make you mad, Clayton. Elon just shared a Dogecoin art from some Reddit user that he made 7 years ago. He just shared it of a Doge on the moon. He also changed his bio to Doge all day, Doge all night. And then a Ron Clark Motors announced it'll be the first car dealership in the world to accept Dogecoin. It's blowing up.
It's literally just like, dude, I don't care about Doge. The uncapped market on it is what's going to end up killing it.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think there's like other. There's
uncapped on Ethereum.
The whole
it's
idea,
not the uncapped.
It's
not the uncapped.
It is 100% the uncapped because
Ethereum's uncapped.
Do you understand what the whole purpose of cryptocurrency was? Of, hey, countries can't print infinite money. So let's create an uncapped crypto. When crypto, the whole point of it was that you can't just print infinite money.
That wasn't originally the point.
Oh my God.
What I will say is this. While the point you're making is correct about in the general sense, yeah, of course, you can't print more Bitcoin. That's
Yeah.
The dollar is screwed. In 10 years we'll be trading bananas. But it's the fact that it is a meme coin. There's nothing else to do with the uncapped potential of Doge. It is the fact that it is a meme coin. And it's exchanges. How hard it is to exchange it. It's easy to move a Bitcoin. It's hard to exchange a Doge.
My thing is, the reason why it runs into all those problems is because it's a meme coin that is unmarket capped and everything like that, because it is not a serious coin.
There's other altcoins that are on market cap though.
It's the exchanges, dude. It's the availability and
Right, yeah.
How much trouble, Schwinn, are you having trying to, number one, how hard is it to find how to buy Doge? And then how hard is it to exchange and move Doge?
Okay, well, you could buy it on Robinhood, but I know Robinhood's shit. So the next one, you can buy it on the Coin app, or it's called like Crypto Coin or something. The one that's like a little face, or Voyager. And I did have to wait on a wait list, but so yeah.
Yeah,
I downloaded Coinbase, signed in within 5 minutes, and got any crypto available on Coinbase. I'll give it that. But I was literally within 20 minutes, I was in the crypto market.
Yeah, that is true. Coinbase is the best. But see, I wish we could use Binance, but it's not available in Texas. I signed up for Binance, but it's not legal here apparently. There's certain states that there's certain states you can't trade on Binance, and in Texas is one of them. So I was sad about that. But
I don't know. I can't do it, dude. I cannot stand Dogecoin.
To me, it's like we're all betting on stuff. So it's kind of like the fun bet, or like this is fun.
I guess that.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what outrages me so much. Is it's like, dude, why are you making that bet? And you're like, you're like Kevin from The Office when he's like, if anyone ever offers you 1,000 to 1, you better take it. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You're that guy, and it bugs me so much.
I'm picturing it like we're all at the horse races, and they're like, we're also going to put a corgi in here as a joke. And Schwinn's like, I'm betting on the corgi. And like, sir, you can't bet on the corgi. You're like, I'm betting on the corgi, and you're taking my money. They're like, sir. So finally, they're like, all right, we'll take your money for the corgi. The corgi's not going to win a horse race. They're much bigger. They're more athletic. They have jockeys. And he's like, don't want to hear it. Put the money on the corgi, and I am here to be entertained.
Exactly.
Dude, but that's the thing, though. As we've all said with crypto, whatever Quentin's advice is, do the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I was gonna say, thank you for that advice, actually. That actually saved me money that day. Because I was going to buy right before the dip. And then it dipped. So I said, yeah, that saved me.
Go against your intuition.
Clayton, I haven't got to tell you. I told Devin, I ended up selling all of my uni, all my stellar lumens, and I can't remember what the other one was. There was 3 crypto.
Did you sell it or did you convert it?
I converted, my bad. I converted 3 coins all into Ethereum during the drop. So I got 1 Ether now. So I'm just holding 1 Ether. Yeah.
Smart move. The question is, are you going to use the DAI coin? Or are you going to do
That's what I have to do because
are you going to start using the DAI coin strategy?
Yes, because if I would have used it this past time, I would have an extra $400 right now. And I didn't do it. I'm down $400. So I'm pissed, but
I'm still down $90. I'm like,
my thing is, awesome. I want to get a little bit more side money to put in, and then have that sit, and then do a DAI coin.
Take a loan.
No, my thing
is,
Uber,
bro. Uber, I'm telling you, easy side money.
Quentin, I make good enough money. I don't have to worry about working a side job. I hate.
You said you want side money.
Let me put it like this, Quentin. I have enough money that it does not matter to me. It's more what I'm comfortable with putting in. It's not for lack of funds. It's literally I need.
But then you could have
Oh my God! Don't even start this rabbit hole. Quit stirring the pot,
Wait,
Evan. I know that's
wait,
what
wait.
you're doing. You're stirring the pot, bro.
You could have more coins.
No, so my thought process is like, the next time I go, I'm gonna throw like 500 at something, and with that 500, I'm gonna take that and probably whenever I can. Once I get a decent profit margin, I'm gonna take that 500 and the profit from the 500, move it into a die coin, and try that strategy, but only with that money. So that way, if I make a mistake, I don't lose everything that I've invested. I've only lost the money I'm okay with losing.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Just your gains.
Yeah. Essentially, do it with my gains, but the amount that I'm comfortable with, to where I feel like I'm not making a dumb decision.
I feel you.
Like, that's kind of my thought process on it. If I might try that strategy for a little bit, if I have success, cool. If not, whatever. But the thing with like crypto is, dude, everyone was panic selling crypto. That's why we had that huge dip.
I did not. When that happened, I just bought more.
Oh, dude, I was like reading through the subreddit, and one person was like, I'm so disgusted by you people who are freaking out and panic selling now. If you were going to panic sell, why are you even in crypto when you know it's I think the term was parabolic market. Like, why are you in it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Because yes and no. Okay, like it with the amount of money I'm playing with, completely okay if it were to go to zero. I'd be like, okay. But you got to understand, some of these people in crypto, they have like 200K. Well, no, as they have money, but they have 200 grand in it, and that dip cost them, $90,000. So they're like, okay, I would panic. Dude. Bro,
yeah,
diamond hands.
Balls aren't that big.
Apes together strong.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I panicked a little bit during the drop because I'm playing with more money than I'm actually comfortable with because I'm trying to make it big. Like, I have a savings, I'm still paying my bills, but pretty much any expendable income I have, or sometimes just impulse when it drops, is going straight to crypto. Only thing, all of my dude, I just bought less food, like. That's just where it's going. And I would say it's a smart idea, but that's what I'm doing right now, dude.
That's the thing.
Like Wall Street Bets said, bro, diamond hands, apes together strong.
The thing is, and this is like a kind of a tangent, but like in life, dude, a lot of the best decisions don't make the most sense right now, but they make sense over 5 to 10 years. So you saying, you're like, I feel like I'm crazy right now. In 5 to 10 years, maybe you're the one with, 4 kids in a nice house and a Lamborghini, and, we're still working on a podcast. You know what I mean?
I can work in your pool house, though, right, Quentin? Like, if that happens, I can be your pool boy. Yeah. I'll wear the Speedo and everything, bro.
Bro, I expect if any one of us makes it big, we better be getting, like, a mansion-ass place, and, like, everyone got their own sections.
Okay. I'm gonna straight up tell you that's not gonna happen.
I'm expounding.
If I ever make mansion money, I'm buying a property, I'm having a mansion. Y'all can live on the property, but we will not be living in the same building together.
Yeah, we're living together specifically would be weird later.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, maybe like Chase's family's place,
a compound.
A compound. Like y'all have.
Yeah, and then we start a cult, right?
Yeah, maybe thank you.
Yeah, we just worship each other and share.
Then we start a YouTube channel that's kind of
about the compound,
hanging out at the compound.
But I would say it'd be kind of like what's the word? I can't think of the word. But
and
like
our children,
familiar to Fantasy Factory, like that type of crap. Like, oh, we still have money to blow. Let's launch Clayton into like a giant honey pot, and I don't know, dude.
Okay,
like,
so we're becoming the Mr. Beast of YouTube.
But it would actually be fun for us.
Yeah, but it's for a compound. Yeah. and then our children.
No. But you're not understanding how it's different.
Our children breed, and our children's children, which are our grandchildren, breed, and then we have a pure bloodline based off the compound. And like, so we're like the new Rothschild. Yeah, we become the next Rothschild.
Then we get raided by the ATF, but that stuff happens.
Listen, baby, I know you got 11 toe. We're just going to chop it off. We got the money to do it. We'll throw it up real quick. Like, it's all good.
Everyone has like 10 wives.
Oh my gosh. We all have the same 10 wives.
and we all have
I'm not down for sharing
to,
like that. I'm not down for sharing like that.
No. Well, hear it out, Clayton.
I know the things that Devin does with the females he met. I'm not okay with sharing. Okay? I don't trust Devin.
You're a prude, Clayton. So, but
Grow up. Okay,
Dude,
if you're gonna be on the compound, here's the rules of the compound.
I like how
What are you gonna say, Twin?
the question is, who the hell is financing this compound at this point? Like, I feel like
we
they
have
get
so much money.
Why are we group tanking this? Why don't we have 3 separate compounds?
No, one compound.
No.
We each have our own
much
residence.
residual income. Yeah.
And then there's going to be like one individual little residency for all the females, so they can go in there and do their female things. We don't have to deal with that afterwards.
No. No. They get together, they start talking, and they're like, "This compound sucks. These guys are crazy." No, they're gonna outthink us. We can't have that happening. We got to keep them busy.
Moving on from
some
borderline sexism.
Some pottery classes. No, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude. Oh my gosh, a compound.
But, dude, I don't know. I couldn't do something like that. I couldn't have like a fantasy factory or something like that, dude.
It'd be so fun,
dude. There's a thing behind it of the fact of like work, like when it came to that. There's the same reason Big Black, like he put it in the way that like when they did Robbing Big Black or Robbing Big, Big Black didn't live at that house.
No.
Yeah, the reason why he didn't live at that house is because the anxiety you get from staying in the place that you work. You know what I mean? I could not do a show like Fantasy Factory where every day I'm getting messed with, everything like that. Like, imagine at your work, every time you're trying to make a sale, I shoot a t-shirt cannon at you. You know how anxiety induced you would become after like the 100th time?
But that's also your job. That's also your job, is to be like,
yeah, but you're
the real job.
It's literally it's at that point selling your mental health, and it's just one of those things.
I don't think it's that.
Hold on,
like Ross Creations or Vlog Creation, dude. His videos and his group of friends, like the things they do, reminds me so much of us back in high school. Like they're literally just hanging out. Like they're just like bull crapping around on the sidewalk. Like, well, that's true. A lot of the times I feel like it really is, because there's some scenes that look like they were recorded a long time ago and they just grabbed a snippet and they're like, let's throw it in this video. Like that was a good joke or that was a good stunt or whatever. Like,
so the two things, because the Fantasy Factory, Rob made the Fantasy Factory so he could go there. Because Rob was tired of being filmed in his house. Yeah. So he's like, I need a separate place that I can drive to do the work, because the shows work. So like with Vlog Creations, yes, it's like they do have like the cameras rolling in the car, or like they're eating, and it's like, but you got to think like, yes, I mean, he's a funny guy. All of his friends are funny. But you got to think what he's thinking about is like, all right, cameras on. You know what I mean? Like, what can I say? What can I say? How many jokes don't land? How many skits? And then they got to sit there and be like, how about we do this?
They're not like a reality TV show like Fantasy Factory, though, where it's like, here, let's watch. Rob's walking up and music's playing. It's like, okay, something's about to happen to this guy. Oh, drama's about to get pranked. Like it's more natural. It's more down to earth. Like they're actually hanging out, and like it's just the good clips. Like there's the cameraman's probably recording 24/7, and there's so much unusable footage. And it's just the clips that they can, those good moments.
You're
the same thing with
that's like the same thing as Fantasy Factory, though. Like that's
literally. I feel like that a lot of that is like staged. Like, we're jumping off the building today. We got a big blown up mattress or whatever thing at the bottom. We're sitting in the foam pit today.
But how do you think those ideas came about, though? That's literally them all sitting in a boardroom, just throwing out random ideas, and then they bring some writing to it. So I'll give you that. Like, it has more writing and creation to it, but it's the same thing. It's just you're getting to see the other side of it.
Yeah,
I guess it feels more real because it's not all actors. Like it's him doing stuff to real people, and like it could go wrong. Like it could not be funny. Like I'm sure there's a lot that didn't work.
It's just like Jackass.
That's true.
That's the same thing, because it's like they sat there and like, is this funny? Is this funny? And then finally they're like, okay, let's try this idea, and they film it 20 times and they have 2 good takes. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much.
It could be like that,
dude. But Jackass is like actual working on it, dude. It's insane because they're like, dude, there are so many ones that we do that don't go anywhere. Like it is literally Jackass is like, we have an itinerary of like 300 to 400 ideas. We're going to go through. We're going to do every single one. We're going to try to make them all good. And they have like 12 that land. And actually they were able to get good takes out of. You know what I mean? Like that's the side like, you're not seeing.
Hey, I got
to me, like vlog creation. Oh, I was going to say vlog creations is like.
What's up, bro?
The wholesome. I was going to say vlog creations is just the wholesome version of that. They don't cuss. It's not disgusting. And it's just really like, I could show this to my teachers and they'd be like, you know.
Well, it's appealing to like a different market. You know what I mean? Just a different target audience.
It's advertiser friendly.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That's the whole point, right?
It's still mature comedy though. It's not like, I feel like I'm watching comedy for like an 8-year-old. Like it's still like you have to be older. It's like has the dry humor or like certain jokes. Like, hey, you're gonna buy one and you're gonna get one for the same price on top of that one. And they're just like, wait, run that by me again? Yeah, no problem. It's just a deal we got going on. So you're gonna buy one, and it's a deal we got going on. You're gonna get another one for that same price on top of that. So it's like the first one plus the other one. You're gonna go ahead and do that. And he's like, right. Yeah. Go ahead and give me that one. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, what was that?
I don't know, bro.
Dude.
I don't know. You've always been into that weird, dry sense of humor. I
love it, dude.
It's to the point that it grew on me. Because, like, even now there's some dry humor that I can't stand. But, dude, you love dry humor. Because, like, you're the one who kind of got me down the thought process of, like, imagining what's going through that person's head. And that's what's so funny about it. And it's like, I hate the fact that, like, there are some that I'm just like, this is dumb. But, like, I still have that kind of dry sense of humor that my girl doesn't understand because of that. Like, Hot Rod.
It's like,
she's like, it's so awkward. She's like, it's so stupid. And I'm like, that's the point. The point is chase to be humor, stupid. Bro. Yes.
The chase humor. Like, that's what it is.
That it's so stupid that it's funny.
Like, well, I think, like, to me, it's like a situational awkwardness is what makes it funny. I think, like, so stupid for the sake of being stupid, I think. And that it takes a bit of, like, letting your guard down. Like, it's like watching scary movies. Like, let your guard down. You want to get scared. And, like, if you think too hard about a comedy movie, it's like, well, yeah. You've got to be like, let me just relax and let it be. Like, I remember, dude, the first time we watched Superbad, I remember we didn't finish it. Or at least, I think it was the first time I saw it, at least. I was thinking too much about the plot. I'm like, okay, of course it's dumb for me.
Yeah.
Of course it's dumb. It's supposed to be dumb.
Well, dude,
grow up.
On a side note, like, bro, so same thing with, like, Skyrim. So, like, I've been getting really into watching people, like, there's this guy, I think it's called, like, Salt Factory, but
I'll be right back.
You didn't mute yourself. Okay, there you go, you're good. But, so he does these videos on the sense and the idea of, like, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to make like a hour-long to 2-hour-long video, and I'm going to cover every aspect of this game. And like he goes through, by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, dude, Skyrim was a horrible video game. Terrible. It was garbage. Makes so much sense. And then at the end, he's like, no, I mean, at the end of the day, I still had a great time playing it. I'm just like, I hate it so much. Like, cause like he goes through and explains like why a lot of the plot hooks are dumb. And he's like, okay, so we're going to do the College of Winterhold. And he's like, run through the quest line, and then he's like, okay, this point is stupid, and here's why it makes absolutely no sense. He's like, this is just such lazy writing that everything in this game comes down to, oh my god, go down to this ruin and clear it out. Like, he's like, that is any game, any quest you do, go to this dungeon, get to the bottom of it, grab this one artifact, come back. Oh my god. But he goes through and he rips it apart to the point that you're like, oh my god, like this, I didn't realize how dumb this is. Like, if I could give you one thing to watch, Devin, watch that. Like, watch that. Like, just watch his video of ripping a game apart that you think is actually good. And by the end of it, you're like, dude, wow, I never thought of it like that. Like, he's right. That is a lot of lazy stuff. And then you're just like, but wow, I really did enjoy that game, though. Like, am I just dumb? Did they fool me?
Yeah, it's like, well, nobody's dumb. They didn't fool you. It's just you took it for what it was. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, I think the idea of an animal, an anthropomorphic animal, fighting an evil scientist and collecting rings is kind of outlandish and preposterous. But you know what? I have fun. And if you want to boil it down to the basics, yeah, every level you run. It's like, okay, well, now that sounds dumb. Well, every level you run, you collect golden rings. And this is like, okay, now you just made it sound stupid. But every Guitar Hero track, you just hit colored buttons on a fake guitar and you don't make real music. You can make it sound bad. You can straw man anything.
Here's the side argument of it, though. He doesn't. Like, I wouldn't say he uses a bunch of straw man arguments, because like the difference is like he does compare the game for what it is. He will understand this is the time period. Like when you talk like Sonic the Hedgehog, like I feel like that's a straw man of it, because it's like, dude, Sonic the Hedgehog for that day. Platformers were like the biggest thing out there. They were just emerging. It was a new way to play games. Like, they added different things to it. That's why it was a good game. It has nothing to do with the writing. Nowadays, the focus is shifted. It's no longer about can you build an interesting level and add a few cool dynamics. It's can you do that, but can you also tell an interesting story that grips? So he essentially will rip them apart on the story side of it. He's like,
now can you make it immersive?
Yeah, that's kind of what he rips it apart about. Is like, this kind of kills the immersion because this makes no sense to me. Like, so I'm telling you, like, if you watch it, you'll understand that it's not really a straw man. That it's more of just like, I don't understand why they made this decision when they like. Here's like 2 or 3 ideas they could have done that would have made a little bit more sense. Because, like, he points out, like, in the Dark Brotherhood quest, you kill some orc that's never been named before. Nobody knows who it is. And by the time you come back to the Dark Brotherhood, he's like, I heard a certain orc went missing. And he's like, it's crazy that we're in this wild tundra of a land where people go missing all the time. But he understands this one orc was that dude. It's like, things like that.
Okay, so, like, that's kind of... So I understand, okay, the difference between the straw man, what he's doing now. And I think, like, for the sense of a Sonic plot line, yes, even the plot line itself, straw man aside, maybe not the best, maybe for Oscars. Kingdom Hearts. The story's convoluted, and it sucks. I know. I'm going to keep playing it. But it makes no... I know it makes no sense. And I know it's repetitive. You know what I mean? Like, there's a part of, like, yes, it's entertainment, and, like, with Skyrim, maybe I am dumb. You know what I mean? Because, like, most quests are, go to this room for the College of Winterhold. That's, like, one of the only quest lines I do if I play it. It's like, it's kind of repetitive, but it's
so.
I'm playing it because I want to shoot magic and fight dragons, and it's like
So here's what he points out. And this is where I was like, he'll win you over to his side of the argument. He points out the fact of, like, everyone's like, well, I mean, because, like, he'll point back at, like, Oblivion and stuff like that. Like, Oblivion just had better quests. He's like, because he did a video on Oblivion and ripped Oblivion apart and everything like that. But he looks at it and he's like, the stories they tell in Oblivion make more sense than the ones they tell in Skyrim. And he points out that Oblivion to Skyrim was a 5-year gap. And he's like, now you may be thinking, like, a 5-year gap, you can't, it's hard to ask that. And then he's like, well, look at The Witcher 2 compared to The Witcher 3. He's like, look at the storyline jump in that. He's like, and look at how better of a game they made. He's like, look at the fact that, like, Skyrim, there's so many dungeons that have nothing really tied to it story-wise, where he's like, everything that you do in The Witcher has a story to it, and it makes sense. So, like, he points out that it's like Bethesda was just lazy on this, and they probably rushed the project.
Which is only going to make the next one worse.
Well, see, that's just
because that's more like what the highest selling of them, that franchise.
It's the highest selling, but here's the side argument, though, because like my thing is, Elder Scrolls 6 better come out, and it better be a fantastic game. The reason being is they've had 10 years to develop it. 10 years.
Yeah, it should have been 2 more.
If they botch this one like they botched 76 and how they botched Fallout 4 and how bad those games really were once you looked at them, it might be the end of Bethesda as being renowned as a great company.
Well, didn't Microsoft buy them?
Microsoft did buy them, but I mean, there was a lot of cool things to be hyped about in that. So like they did a rumor that was spiraling around is that they were going to have the Obsidian team and Bethesda work together to remaster New Vegas or do a New Vegas 2, which was a cool rumor, but I don't know how much validity there is in that.
So, like, the thing with, like, it getting worse, I mean, yeah, it could tarnish their reputation. If it does, I don't want that to happen, but what does it change? You know what I mean? Because, like, it's the whole... I mean, dude, like, Sonic has been bad for the past, like, 12 years. I'm going to still probably check out the next one. You know what I mean?
Here's my thing, though. I feel like Pokemon, people have more nostalgia for those games versus Skyrim.
It's going to come near a peak. You're right, but it's going to come near a peak. How long till nostalgia? Because Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold were 10 years ago. And those, to a lot of people, were the peak. They were the pinnacle of content. It was jam-packed with content. Even the director said, he's like, I think we actually even got greedy with how much we put in here. He's like, I'm excited. Like, he was so excited to give it to the fans. He's like, I think we even put too much in here. And that is the highest hours I've ever put in a Pokemon game ever. Now they're just on the decline. Steady decline could not be. It's a falling knife, right? And then, but even the directors of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was like, we're taking features out because people have shorter attention spans. And each game has less and less and less, but sells more and more. And so the content's going down, sales are going up, and it just keeps doing this divide, this huge divide.
I mean, it's the problem with the community of it, dude. That's the problem. The community, like, it's the same reason. Like, I forget who. I want to say I was arguing with one of my gaming buddies years ago of like the reason why RPGs are horrible now compared to what they used to be is because there's no more hardcore RPGs anymore, because the hardcore RPG like status that was there wasn't a market. There's no longer a market. You have your diehard fans in that, or I can swivel over to the casual fans and make more money off the casuals. And it's a problem with people entering the gaming sphere and not aligning with what you align with.
I'd say the most like old school hardcore RPG today would be Divinity 2.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
Me and my girl are playing Divinity.
Oh yeah,
dude, such a good game, bro. Love it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be old school, right?
It's more like it's lore heavy. Think Dungeons and Dragons, but in a little bit more of a digestible field of it. Is kind of the best way I can put it. It's got that heavy storytelling, heavy lore when it comes to the worlds and the world building and stuff like that. Really good lore, lots of reading. But everything comes down to like chance, hit, armor, stuff like that. So it's like D&D-esque. It's turn-based combat. It's really
like Fallout 2 or Fallout, like the original ones, like the combat.
I'd say like similar in the base idea of it, but when it comes to like if you look at the game, you wouldn't say they're very similar at all. Like it's like taking like the base element of like playing like war and cards and then playing Magic the Gathering. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Both card games, like both technically card games, kind of play on the same thing. Yeah, you have to draw cards. Like they have slightly similar elements, but not like you would never say they're the same. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it is really good, enjoyable. I've dumped like I think close to 60 hours. She has 50 hours in it, and we're playing together.
Cool.
So yeah, it's good. Honestly, like it's really fun, a really good game. Like,
so when do y'all think that took off though? Like that casual, I feel like to me that casualization of it took off when that became the new thing. So remember it was shooters. It was like Halo. And then music games took over for like 3 or 4 years. Everybody had Guitar Hero. Everybody had Rock Band. You know, that was the competitor. And then like music games just died all at once. And then everyone got into RPG elements within games. It's like, I think that was around Borderlands or a little bit after, like right before Borderlands. The Borderlands is not the reason, but
I'd say honestly, it's always kind of been like that. Of like, there's always a hot new thing. This is just, I want to say like within probably like 5 to 10 year mark, very, very rough, is when we started moving into the sphere that all the companies are now trying to cash in. Back in the day, like, yes, you had Rock Band and everything else, but you still had hardcore RPGs like Oblivion and stuff like that coming around the same time. That market was still there. But Bethesda wasn't interested in trying to grab the Rock Band like part of it.
Right.
It's slowly gravitated towards every single one of those companies are just up for the quick and easy cash now. They no longer are trying to build something. It's become so casual in the fact that they're just blatantly going for the money. It's the same reason that you see every game coming out with like battle royales and stuff like that now. Even though it's like, dude, focus on the real game. Make the game. If there's a battle royale, cool, but I don't want that to. I don't want to play 30 different battle royales. I don't want to play your skinned version of a battle royale. Make me something that I didn't know that I wanted, or something that I want. I don't.
Or everyone trying to recreate Destiny,
yeah,
like with Division and Marvel's Avengers and all that.
Well, you have that, and then you had what was it? The one that like crashed super hard that BioWare made.
Oh, Anthem.
Dude, Anthem was garbage, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, if you ever look up the history of Anthem, it's hilarious.
You know what's bad is I actually bought Marvel and put time into it.
So I think what I was getting at is that like, yes, there's those hot pockets, right? Those waves, like music, okay? Then it was shooters. But I think the RPG elements got added into every game now. Like it was like, it was cool to have a level up system, because what they realized is that this is our reward system to keep people addicted, because Warcraft, that is a life sink. Okay? People would jump in and then like give up, but there was a lot of people who did the life sync of Warcraft. So then they're like, okay, what elements make Warcraft addicting? Warcraft is addicting because of community, because of RPG elements. So then everybody was putting community and RPG elements into their game, like Call of Duty, right? You could level up in a freaking gun game. You know what I mean? And then you had community. You had sense of community.
I think a really good example of that, and I know I don't think either one of y'all are actually fans of it. I love Assassin's Creed, but Ubisoft games, bro, like the original Assassin's Creed all the way up. I mean, as each Assassin's Creed was released, more and more RPG elements were introduced. Now, I'm playing Syndicate right now. That was the last one that was like Assassin's Creed with very light elements. Like you leveled up, you increased your skills, you got equipment, but that was about it. You could still like one-shot people. Like there was still like you were an assassin, and like there was actual like skill to the gameplay. But then going to these new three, the Egyptian and the Greek and the Vikings, like it's like, oh, you can assassinate someone. Oh, it only did 200 damage. They're still alive. Or like it's all RPG based. It's completely changed. And same thing with Far Cry. the Far Cry New Dawn, not Far Cry 5, but New Dawn, there's bullet sponges now. Like you just shoot, and just numbers just fly like Borderlands, which takes out the aspect of what made Far Cry. Well, like I think there is a good medium for light RPG elements, but they go too far sometimes.
Well, like if you go through here's my thing with like gaming taking on those RPG elements and stuff like that. They miss out on some of the biggest points of it. So like the reason Assassin's Creed was good in the beginning is because you were already an assassin. You were meant to be cool already. It was all about telling a story. You didn't play Assassin's Creed just because it was fun to run around. It was fun to run around. It was fun to run around, but the main core of it was look at this story that we're telling with it.
True.
Whereas now it's become, hey, everybody likes RPG. RPG is what's hot. Let's go into that. Yep. But the thing is, they get rid of this lack of like story. They don't make you feel cool. Like, yes, people want to be challenged and work for stuff, but I want the stuff to be I'm working for to mean something, and I also want to have a story along the way. Like, dude, the thing with
Origins and Odyssey were so bland, and I just played Unity over that little winter break we had, and I started Syndicate. Like you're saying, story based with the you're telling a story. Odyssey and Origins is like I don't even know what I'm doing in Odyssey, bro. Like I know I'm in Greek mythology and I call people Malaka. That's it. Like I'm not even an assassin. I'm considering a mercenary, but I have a wrist blade. Like it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just killing people and accepting quests.
Well, I mean, but the thing I would say is like you like when you talk like Far Cry versus Borderlands. The problem with doing bullet sponging enemies like that for Far Cry is your game is not a looter shooter. The reason it works for Borderlands is because if I'm going to fight something, because like, dude, I love Borderlands. I hardcore played Borderlands. I did it to do the raid bosses, stuff like that. I love Borderlands. That's fun to me.
But you get loot.
I will literally sit there and kill the same enemy for an hour to get a perfect roll on a grenade because I need that grenade to then go to this boss and farm him 1,000 times till I get that gun that I want. Like, it's literally like there's a reward-based system in those looter shooters.
There's a reason.
That works, whereas like when you do that with a game like Far Cry, I'm not here to loot anything. I don't need a different skin on this gun that provides me nothing but a skin.
Yeah, exactly. I want to slide into bases and stab people in the neck, or like I want to go kill a bear and use that bear skin to upgrade my bow. Like that is a cool idea of progressing. Like Far Cry 3, like that was really cool.
See, like Far Cry 3 was like the peak of the Far Cry games. Like it had the right elements of RPG, but still told a really great immersive story.
Yeah.
Whereas
I never played 4, and I just bought 5. So I haven't played it yet, but I just bought 5.
So I've beaten 5 twice. I beat it when it first came out, beat it on my own. It was okay, except for the like jarring of the only thing that they did to try to make it cool was throw a twist on it like M. Night Shyamalan. And it's like, dude, your twists suck. Thank you, but no thank you.
Did you play 4?
I did not play 4. No, so there was 4. So there's been a couple different Far Cries. So you had Far Cry 1. I've played and beaten Far Cry 1. Never played Far Cry 2, but I've seen enough on it to know like Far Cry 2 was garbage and I won't play it. Far Cry 3, amazing.
Fantastic.
I have played Far Cry 4, which was the one where you went
Xiaoming or something. You're like in the mountains.
To me, that one was trying to be too much like Far Cry 3. It was trying to jump the shark. Like the shark had already been jumped, and they wanted to do it again. Yeah. So it was like, you're trying too hard. And then they
went Primal.
They did Primal. Didn't touch Primal because 4 left a sour taste in my mouth. 5, I was like, all right, based in America, it's got a cool setting. I wonder what they can do with it. And then they just throw a twist at you at the end of it that it's like, no thank you.
And then I saw the New Dawn one, and it It's just like another skin laid over 5, like a cash grab. But that's the one that has the bullet sponges. Apparently, I was watching like a versus between 5 and New Dawn, and New Dawn was like, the biggest difference is that there's bullet sponges.
I don't know. I had never played New Dawn, but New Dawn was trying to be something different. But that was like Far Cry 3's Blood Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That was what the idea of it was supposed to be. Is it was supposed to be like Blood Dragon.
I'm excited for 6.
But bro, so what was getting me on this, dude? So I'm super excited for the next Elder Scrolls though, because it's supposed to take place in Hammerfell.
Is it really?
I was gonna say.
So it's supposed to be in Hammerfell. So if you follow the lore of Hammerfell, Hammerfell is one of the one places that won their independence from the High Elves. So the Thalmor, they're the one place that's happened, and then they reconquered, and that capital, that country is essentially deadlocked, split in half. So one half is controlled by the Thalmor, the other one is completely free. So I'm excited to see that for the lore aspect of it.
Dude, I'm telling you though, it's gonna be casualized. We're basically gonna be playing Saints Row with dragons.
Oh, I hope not, dude. That would be terrible.
Dude, so Overwatch 2 is going to have RPG elements heavily. You're going to have
Overwatch 2?
They announced it 4 years ago. They showed one trailer at BlizzCon, and by that time, Overwatch was dead already.
So, and here's the thing. When it was announced, just like everybody else, when it's DLC. Dude, after today, they have an update. It's a whole other game. Putting everything into it. Like anything from the sound, to the immersion of yes, bullets are going to sound different depending on the environment you're in, depending what they hit, what they ricochet off. Your gun's going to sound different as it loses it. Those are little things. That's not a reason to buy the game. But the point is, there's also going to be, each character is going to have 3 skill trees. So Reinhardt, they showed a leveled up Reinhardt. Instead of his fire move, it was ice. And then Junkrat, he threw his trap and it had electro added to it. So not only are you stuck, you're also getting electrocuted. And then somebody shot a gun and it had bullets. It had spreader bullets that ricocheted because they hit another enemy. It killed 30 enemies at once.
So it's still the same game. It's just now you can upgrade your heroes.
No. So it's the same game.
No, it's not just a payload thing.
But
it's
they've ripped from Borderlands.
It's PvE.
There's PvE and PvP. There's both.
Huh.
And every hero, So and then the idea is with these skill trees is you can use them use characters in different ways than normally. There was soldier ran up and he dropped his little healing grenade or whatever, but then it force pushed everyone off the bridge and then started the healing. So it's they made remember when they came out with the story mode thing or whatever?
So it's more of a MOBA.
And we would all play it.
It seems to me that it's becoming more of a MOBA.
A MOBA?
I don't know about a MOBA. I see where you're going with that.
You get what I'm saying, though? You have skills that level up as they go. They get a little bit better. But
so you level up per round, not overall.
No. So I'm saying it looks like you level up overall, but there's going to be able to be he's got a Fire McCree. Well, I'm going to play Ice Reinhardt because it'll be better against that. It seems like they're trying to add more complexity to the comp.
If talking about leveling up, even leveling up their existing thing. So there was a different level up for Reinhardt. Was pinning multiple enemies at once as he not just it's he pops them out of the way but pins one. He could pin multiple people. So it's cool. And then that Mercy was shooting they had an attack Mercy. That was actually an attack Mercy.
Excuse me, sir. Battle Mercy. It was Battle Mercy, cool. Sir.
Battle Mercy.
Dude, that game, I still can't believe how much time I threw at that thing.
We all threw a lot of hours at that, dude.
Not as much as Clayton.
Yeah, I threw over, I think it was I'd have to check on it, but I believe it's close to 600 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, I threw a lot of time at that only to stay in Diamond.
Dude, that and then I watched the Diablo 4 cinematic.
Oh yeah.
Is it? It's not even
The
Diablo
Blood one?
4. It's like Diablo 2 Revelations. It's like a remaster or something like that.
No, there's a different one you're talking about, dude. There's a 4. It's like
There's a 4, yeah.
Cinematic dude, it's extremely gory. Like extremely gory.
Cool. Let me know when it's on.
And then there's like a well, I'll send you the invite and play on it. Dude, it's weird, right? God.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's just weird to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember our Diablo days. I loved that. That was a good time.
Those were fun, dude.
Because it was finally a looter shooter that I could get behind that y'all were down for, but it was in an element y'all loved. So I was like, dude, once I got into it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy they're into a game like this. Because you had character builds and stuff like that. That, I mean, as Devin knows, I got heavily into.
Dude, it's fun. It had dude, again, you had progression, you had customization, and you had community. All of the things that make certain games addicting. You know, the community being us, right? You could play together. Progression obvious. And it's the same dungeons over and over. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Level 1, Torment 7. They're just stronger. They sponge more. But you don't care. It's just fun.
So what you're saying,
you get loot.
Is the best
Paragon level.
The best thing about Diablo was the friends we made along the way.
I didn't make a single
we were
friend.
friends prior.
With you guys.
Yeah. You're already my friend. But but it's every game. Every game, you know, that sense of community.
Say what you
have
want,
a reason to be number one.
There was like 1 or 2 times I came on and you were playing with Logan alone.
I have done that, yeah. And also there was that one time there was a guy that like power leveled me. Because I remember I was doing Paragon levels with one of y'all. I think it was with Devin. And we got to like 120. And it took us a while. And then I was playing by myself. And I got put with some dude. And he was like, stand at the beginning of the dungeon. Just chill there. And I just like all the way up to like Paragon 600 or something. It was stupid.
Yeah. The problem with Diablo, like that's what kind of ruined it. Because Logan had the same thing. Because like if he wanted to do that, he could. But he didn't like doing that for people. Because, like, he does not like giving people things they did not earn, but he had a, like, weapon that was XP glitch. So, like, when he killed something, it had, like, a 200,000% XP bonus on it. So he had things like that would do that. He was like, I don't like doing that. He's like, the only reason I have it is if I want to start a new character, I don't want to play through the whole story again. I want to jump right into building my character at the very end of the game. So he's like, I will power level him to that level, put the sword back, and then go through the dungeons and get the gear.
Makes sense. Well, and that's the thing. Like, once that's with any game. As soon as you get to the point you thought you wanted, you're like, why? Like I don't play post-game content. Like, once the game's done, I'm done with it. Except for like Pokemon Heart Gold or Soul Silver, like I said, that was like one of the only games I did that. But 99% of games, as soon as I beat them, I'll just go on YouTube and be like, "So what do you do after the game?" And I'll watch like some crazy people do it really well, and I'm like, "All right, whatever."
Dude, one game that I was sad that I wasn't able to like beat the post game on was God of War, the PS4 God of War. I got stuck on the Hell Valkyrie, or the one that was like on the top of like that. It was like in the hell realm or like the fire realm or whatever. I got stuck on that Valkyrie. But like that was such an enjoyable game that it disappointed me that I couldn't beat it. It was actually that hard. Like I just sucked.
Well, that was
like,
that's the reason why you love the game, though, right? It's the fact that not only did that game, it challenged you. So when you beat stuff, you felt a genuine accomplishment for it.
Yes.
But it was fun enough that it wasn't just like, this is stupid hard and I never
not
want to
at
touch
all.
this game again. Like, there's a good
I spent hours trying to beat that, bro. And I'm still sad I wasn't able to. Like, but yeah, I'm excited for the next one. I'm hoping they go like the Asian gods, or because they did Norse. So, and the ones that hinted, only two I remember that hinted was the Asian and the Egyptian. which either one of those would be
either
super
one.
cool.
Same.
Yeah,
Literally same.
either one.
I think
would be
everybody's
cool.
in that same boat. They're like, either if they do it the way they did this one, which I don't know how, because you can't
really
recreate
good.
that.
No,
This one was solid. Man, dude, that was
Dude,
yeah. I forgot how good that game was, dude.
Watch Kratos fight Raw, dude. That would be insane. I don't know any Asian gods. I would just like to watch Kratos walk around like
Asian gods,
like
you
know
have
those
Guan
those
Yu,
little.
you have Guan Yu. You have
It'd be cool to see him get like
lot.
giant samurai swords and big shurikens and like.
Yeah,
you know,
I was just trying to see him
like
like mount a dragon or something. And
yes,
battle,
dude.
but, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's quite a few Chinese gods. There's like Jingwei. There's things like that. I'm pretty sure. Like there's quite a few. Guan Yu is like the most noticeable one though.
I think because there was four different religions that were on the wall. It was like Egyptian, Asian. I think the other one's like Indian. It showed Shiva.
Celtic.
Shiva?
I think it was Celtic.
Oh,
or Celtic and Norse the same.
See, I would love that if they did Indian gods. You have like Rama and stuff like that. You have a lot.
I'm almost positive that was one of them, and I guess the other one was Celtic because I've already done Greek and they just did Norse. So,
but I think are the Celtic and Norse not the same though? I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Celtic and Norse are similar, I believe, but they're different. So, like, you have it's like how you have Roman mythology and then you have Greek mythology. They have a lot of the same characters, but the story is different.
No, they jump the shark, dude. Jump the shark, bite the bullet. They just go
Christianity,
Protestant, yeah, and then it's Kratos and Dante's there because they kind of dabble in the Catholicism. So then it's just like God of War featuring Kratos or Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
They have to go fight Jesus Christ,
dude.
Whoa, bro! I prefer them to fight Joseph Smith, but okay.
Let's get back to games being banned and like people protesting in the street.
I can picture that, like Dante and Kratos fighting Jesus, and he like raises himself up, and like he like these crosses come out of the ground, and he crucifies Kratos and Dante. Like that's one of the moves, and you get like half your eye part taken out.
Oh, bro!
It's just like come back to the light, and he's just like you have to run back.
So side
you're getting
note
canceled
on the
You're getting canceled for that.
Side note, so on the whole gaming subject a little bit, did you see the bill that they're trying to pass in Chicago?
I saw something about people trying to attack GTA 6. Is that what you're referring to? Or GTA 5?
Yep.
What happened with that? I just saw the headline.
There's some politician in Chicago is trying to blame video games for the increase in carjackings in Chicago, and they're trying to ban any. They're like with the way the bill's written, they are trying to ban any game that has any sort of mature content. And by mature content, can't show a person getting injured, can't show any, like, can't have your character do anything. It is just hilarious. Let's throw money at a bill about trying to stop violent video games because apparently that creates crime, not poverty or education or anything like that. Let's put the blame on video games.
The thing that's considered a luxury that most poor people cannot buy. Let's get rid of those.
Let's $60 game.
Let's get rid of that.
A $60 game
on a $400 console.
Yeah, some are $600 now. Yeah, exactly. Like
and you still gotta buy a TV.
Yeah,
and you gotta have electricity.
No, Quentin. Because of gaming, we have to steal and carjack people for those things.
Yeah,
that's now you're stealing this console, you're stealing this TV. Oh, dude,
I've never met anyone that's like, man, playing Grand Theft Auto really makes me want to go gangbang. Like, usually it's like
the only
that's kind of stress relieving playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, I've never heard. Exactly.
The legitimately only thing doing it that like I can see as a legitimate argument against gaming is you can make the argument, and I do believe that it's true, that it does desensitize you to that stuff. It doesn't make you want to go do it, but there's a little bit less shock factor.
Yeah, so the snow video that I sent you guys, I watched it the first time I watched it, my heart kind of skipped a beat, and I felt really weird because I just watched someone, get capped at point blank range and get finished off, not just once, like finished off. And it made me feel really weird. But then like the next day I was talking to Selena about it, and I was like, I want to show you this. And after like the first gunshot on the woman, she like looked away and almost started crying. She's like, baby, don't show me that. And she was like, that's just, that's just eerie to listen to and look at. And then when I showed it to Jamie and Dave at work, like Jamie got quiet for a second and she just looked at me. She was like, you just watched someone die. I was like,
yep.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. I was just trying to, explain the news story.
But okay.
Like, just be careful, how much you're watching that.
It's that,
okay.
See, that's the argument. I can see the argument
that.
Is you're just desensitized to it.
I don't think that's because
I felt emotion.
No, so I'm not saying.
I was like, that's,
I'm not saying that you don't, but I would say that you're desensitized to the fact that, like, if you showed that to probably, like, your mom or someone,
it would upset her.
Big deal. They would be upset. Whereas by desensitized, I'm not saying that you don't feel anything. I'm saying that you don't feel the outrage you probably should. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
Like you said, Selena's reaction, stuff like that. Those are probably normal, healthy reactions to seeing that. Whereas you're like, no, I understand it's bad, but like it's crazy that it's you're just desensitized.
You also watched it 4 or 5 times though. You know it's coming. So you're like, by the 4th time you show it to somebody, I don't expect you to react anymore. You've seen it.
It was still eerie, though. That silence at the end was still very strange. And, like, for example, go ahead.
Even then, but, like, it's just desensitization to it. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you watch it once or, like, you still, the first time you did it, you watched it all the way. You watched it all the way through. You felt something about it. Like, you felt something, but the difference is, like, you showed it to her. She didn't want to see it. She saw the first part, it was out. That's what I mean.
Well, I told her what it was before I showed her. It wasn't just like, hey, look.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, it's... Like, we're desensitized to it to a degree.
So, see, she showed me a news story the other day of, like, this guy in Guatemala slaughtered a family. Like, something you'd hear out of, like, an anime or, like, a video game like that. And there was images, but they were like blocks and you could click to view, like sensitive content. Dude, and like she was like, look at this. And she showed me this and she looked like she was about to throw up. And like she's like, click on the photos. And I was like looking at them. And there's literally, it looked like a scene from a TV show. Like there's just bodies on the floor, blood everywhere. And then the most like powerful photo was the head of a 4-year-old girl just decapitated, just on the ground. I was just like, what? Like, it was just, what am I looking at? Like, a human did this and walked away from it and felt okay.
Well, it's like the same argument. Like, it's like
that guy probably played Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, that guy.
But no, it's like that. It's the same like joke you see in like cop movies and stuff like that, where it's like the rookie's day on the job, and it's his first time seeing a dead body, and he like throws up, and like they're like, yeah, by the time you've been here for like a week or 2, you'll just be where you can just eat over the dead body. It won't matter. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! Whoever did this is going away. The rookies.
Yeah, but it's just
you're like slurping up a burrito.
The desensitization, maybe games play a small factor. It's just so digital.
Honestly,
so maybe to a degree
do more than games. I think movies do more.
My thing is that I believe it's all mediums, but I do believe gaming plays a part in that. And to say that it doesn't at all is kind of ignorant.
Right. I don't think it doesn't at all, but I think like maybe like 1 to 5%. What really gets you desensitized is looking at that stuff. You can get on, 4chan right now. Go to B. There's typically a gore thread every night, if not every other night, and that's all that is. It is videos and photos of that, and the same thing, dude. First time you see it, you're like, okay, but then there's people who view it every night, and they're like, this isn't the good stuff. Post the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like. So that's really what gets you desensitized to it. Having it available and being able to see it so many times Like, don't get me wrong, it still freaks me out. Like, there's still stuff that I'm like, oh, that's extreme. But a lot of times, there's a lot of that like are extreme to normal people that now I'm just like, all right, that's somebody's face skinned. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
And it's just, it's just disgusting stuff, you know. But I think, the real desensitization comes from seeing those things that are easily accessed on the internet. You know, not even dark web.
Well, that's just it. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like I think everything plays a role in it. It's just I feel like when it comes to attacking gaming and stuff like that, the gaming community, even if there's like a 1% chance that it's true, will throw out your whole argument and make you feel like an idiot for it. And it's like I genuinely believe like it plays a role. Just like media plays a role, everything like that. Like it plays a role. It's part of just how it goes. But I feel like some people are just don't want to hear it at all. Like I love gaming. I don't want it to change. I don't want regulation on that stuff. I just like I feel like it's a personal choice to play those games. It's not a choice that gets to be made for me on it.
Yeah, it's a choice for me to click on gore. You know, I agree. But I think also like the reason people will take the hard stance of it plays zero because they don't want to chance it. They don't want to chance that there's regulation because I agree with you. I don't want the regulation. I am not ignorant to the fact that it might be 0 to 5% that it affects you. But playing that game, like that politician is like, we need to go 100% regulation. He needs to take that hard stance so he can land at a 30%. But we're like, dude, zero regulation, so we stay at 0.
Well, dude, so that's like I do agree with you. It's the same strategy that they use. Like there are forget what it is. There's a group of gun owners who laugh and make fun of the NRA because the NRA, like, it's stupid to be a part of it. I think the organization's called like Gun Owners of America or whatever. And dude, they're arguing that I should be allowed to have like a full auto 50 cal Browning. Like, because that's their argument is we have to argue this fringe thing so that we don't lose the stuff that is actually legitimate that we do have an argument for.
Yeah, you have to point it. You have to take it to the next level for some people to realize,
you have to straw man it.
When it's a negotiation thing, that's what it is. I want 80%. So, we'll give you 60, and all you wanted was 50.
Wagner, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because you're the most, like, out of all of us, I would consider you like the video game guru.
Yep.
So, like, say 30 years from now or something, or not 30 years. Okay, that's kind of far. 20 years, like when Atlas and Weston, like they're like our friends' kids are like in their 20s. Like say gaming has come to such a point to where virtual reality gaming, graphics level wise, is about PS3 to maybe PS4 era. Like it's starting to look good. Like it looks really good. Like you're walking around like Skyrim 15 years from now. Like legit, you hear everything and you're slaughtering people. Should that be regulated? Like, is that what the fear is? It's like it's not just a control anymore. You're straight up like every sensory is going off of you slaughtering an individual and you're hearing all of it. And,
for me,
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know if you heard me, but like I said before, I feel like it comes down to personal choice. You know what I mean? Like,
so would you feel that's...
I personally, like the way that I see it, is actually enforce 18 plus. You know what I mean? Like, stop making it where mom and dad at that point. Like, if it gets to that point, stop making it where mom and dad can go buy the video game for their kid. Because, like, that's also another argument that gaming makes of, like, well, these video games make kids violent. No, your terrible parenting and letting them buy that video game is what's making them violent. You being a terrible parent. So, like, for me, it comes down to, like, kind of personal choice. It depends on, one, how real it feels and stuff like that. So, like, when the trade centers happened or whatever, do you know how those people learned how to fly planes?
Video games.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yep.
They trained using that. So, it was too real to the point that it opened us up for an attack. So for me, like I get it to a degree. It's a bridge we'll have to cross when we get there because since we don't have it, it's hard for me to make a call on it. But my stance as of right now is I feel like it comes down to personal choice. You know what I mean? You should know what you can handle.
I almost wonder if like 20, 30 years from now, if they're like cigarettes, you know, like in the 40s and 50s, we were like, oh, cigarettes are good for you, or it doesn't really matter. And nowadays we're like, hand-eye, it gives you hand-eye coordination. And they're like, no, it desensitizes you. But then 20 years from now, we're like, oh, it really does mess you up. Like, it's not your choice.
So that's the thing with cigarettes. I get kind of the argument
I know that's kind
you're trying to make.
A far comparison.
It's a bad one, but I get what you're saying on it. I just don't feel as though, like, regulating gaming and stuff like that, there's a lot of studies that go into gaming and shows how it can improve your aspects of life and everything like that. The difference is,
it would make me sad to tell my kid, no, you can't play that game, knowing that I grew up playing games. Well, and I have fond memories of playing games with you guys. Like, I would want my kid to have that same chance.
The argument that I would bring to it is that with anything, too much is a bad thing. So like cigarettes, they can alleviate stress for you. You know what I mean? There's not really an argument against that. It can alleviate stress. Some people smoke. You don't have to have it.
I think it's an immediate argument against that.
Well, so here's the thing. It can be a placebo effect, right? So it can be something that has nothing to do with the actual science, but we see it. Because, like, same thing for me. I feel relaxed when I smoke. There's other ways for me to get that relaxation, but when I smoke, I can relax. It calms my nerves a little bit, helps me calm down because I've trained my body to like that. It's a habit, but it's something that I do get a benefit from. Yeah. But it comes down to the same thing. Do the benefits outweigh the negatives to it? I feel like cigarettes and stuff like that, you can obviously see with all the data that's out there, it is more negative than it is positive. Now, when it comes to gaming, right now the way they look at gaming is there are a lot of positives to gaming. It can help with your thinking. It can help with your hand-eye. It can help with your reaction times. There's a lot of science that goes into showing gaming is not all bad. Sitting at a computer gaming the whole time, obviously you can get carpal tunnel, you can have back problems, you can have leg problems. It's not to say that social problems is 100% like it's 100% good, but I feel like the negatives versus the positives right now somewhat outweigh the negatives. If it gets to the point that the negatives become too much, that's when we have to start taking a deeper look at it.
Yours more like it's the individual's choice.
Yeah, I'm very much when it comes to something like that.
If someone's on meth,
choice.
We don't need to arrest them. It's their choice.
But
I agree with you.
My philosophy is you should be allowed to do whatever you want to do if it does not negatively affect someone else. If I want to sit at home and smoke crack all day, but I can get up, I can do my job, I'm not putting my family in risk, I'm not hurting anyone but myself, it is not my responsibility to tell that person no if they are not hurting anyone else. It is none of my business.
Speak, Wagonite. Speak the truth, man. Run for office. Okay. I'd vote for you.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought up VR because as soon as you brought up the politician, I was thinking VR because here's the downside of video games, right? And we all know for when they become people's life sink and they don't do anything. They stay unemployed, you know. Now these are fringe cases, or like you said, social issues, or maybe they regress mentally when it becomes a life sink. That's the thing with VR. And you said Skyrim, you can already play Skyrim in VR. Now, if you're talking in the sense of bodies, yeah, you can. You can talk in like bodysuits and like you're playing a game like
I'm picturing like you feel creepy. The senses, like you feel everything, which probably except the smell. You have you have porn games like that already. Bodysuits for porn games with fleshlights attached at the groin. That's crazy. So you imagine if you could feel yourself cutting someone's throat, like that could give.
That's what I'm saying. You will. There's already porn suits, so it's not going to be 30 years. It's going to be like 8 to 10. That's like people are going to be living in these porn suits getting, digital orgasms really, or just doing nothing but watching porn, which is already a problem, not in VR. People already run their lives with porn, not in VR. So when it becomes that real, or these video games are so realistic that you can kill somebody, it will become a problem. I'm not saying there needs to be regulation. I'm saying it does need to be carefully watched, and I don't think you'd be a bad parent to say what games your kid can't play. I think you have to educate them like it's not real. Okay, like this is not real. But yeah, I mean, if when Atlas is 8, no, he can't play GTA.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like at a certain point, you do have to take kind of personal responsibility for it. I'm one of those very few people that believe that not everyone is entitled to kids. I'm sorry.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
I agree.
I don't feel like you are entitled to kids. If you are not smart enough to have kids and you do not have the time to parent your kids, you should not have ever had kids. And for you to blame everyone else for your problems and not take ownership for it, that's on you. You were a bad parent. You just don't want to admit that you were bad. Like it's very frustrating. But they have
CPS.
But like I said, I mean, even then, dude, literally, like CPS, it's not hard to keep your kid from CPS.
Just throw them into foster care, and then that's so great.
To be honest, it's really not hard to keep your.
Issue.
It's not hard to keep your kid from CPS. Like, it's not hard at all. Like, there's so many people that shouldn't have their kids, and definitely CPS should be called, but CPS would side with them.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think about this, Wagner? Because me and Selena were talking about it today. We saw this lady got pulled over, and there was 3 cops. Well, the lady was walking around. She wasn't detained. And there's 3 police cars. We were like, I wonder what's going on. I was like, it's kind of weird to have 3 police vehicles with nothing violent or urgent happening. It's just 1 car, no wreck, anything, or the parking lot. And I was like, well, it could be 1 or 2 things. It could have been a mother drunk driving with a child. That child could be getting taken away. You got to call on someone else. Or the mother could have had weed in the car. She may not have been high. Nothing could have been going on. But just the fact that weed's in the car, you lose your kid. Because federally, that's Schedule 1. So you're endangerment of a child, and you're getting a felony. You're losing your kid. Even in states where it's legal, you lose your kid. So, y'all know me personally. If I had pot in my house and I had my kids get taken away, is that a right thing to do or not? Just because the government says it is. I don't think so. Selena just told me, she was like, I want you to stop when we have kids, as a responsibility type thing, which I agree. I don't want my kids to get taken away. Fuck that. But weird.
Here's my argument for it, and this is kind of where I stand with a lot of things. And regardless of whether you agree with the law or not, that is the law.
You have to follow it.
You accept that risk. Our system is built for you to change that law. So,
true.
Right now, if you're a parent and you get caught with marijuana and your kids get taken away, you knew that risk regardless of whether you agree with it or not. You took that risk knowing that that was something that could happen. Do I agree with the cops taking your kid? No, but technically, you broke the law regardless of whether you agree with the law or not. If you don't want that to happen, go out, talk to your local government, work on getting politicians who are going to change that law for you at the local level, then hire and hire and hire. Quit expecting everyone else to do it for you. That's kind of my stance on it.
Make a lot of money. Hire some lobbyists. Hire some lobbyists.
Okay.
Make the higher ups understand there's money in this.
Dude,
the law is done. Then
I see what you're saying.
People who think lobbyists control the government are idiots. I can't.
No, okay.
Dude, look at the amount of money. No. Look at the amount of money spent. Look at the amount of money spent in lobbying, and look at how many policies it changes. 0.
It's a lie. Why would money be spent if it didn't change policies?
It doesn't have to be the lobbyists per se. It's just the control of the wealth. If you can understand, if you can make the control of wealth be around pot, your laws are done. You're fine.
Look at AT&T as a company. Look at how much profit they make. How come they only dedicate a couple million to lobbying? If they really wanted something, why are they only... out of a billion, out of a multi-billion-dollar company,
a couple million.
If I can get anything I want done with money, why am I only spending this much and still getting told no in the courtrooms? Why don't I just go full force? Here's a couple. Let me slide you a crisp billion and make actual changes.
Let me say something. Well, what does AT&T truly need to lobby for? Them and Verizon are both the competing number one in America for telecommunications. What do they really need to lobby for? Like, what are they doing that's illegal? Like,
hold on.
Okay.
And also,
what are they trying to shell money to?
That's just a random
But
example,
that's what I'm saying.
Let's say any company.
Look at any company. Look at the amount of money they dedicate towards lobbying versus what that company actually makes, and realize how fractional that is.
Hold on. Okay. Again, this is all part of the Dog and Pony Show. Any company. Don't have to name a single one. I need to publicly show money's going towards this. Behind closed doors is where the real money's at. So sure, yeah, I'm gonna burn away this money in my Dog and Pony Show for everyone to be like, this is what we're doing. Like, that's what it is.
But that's what it is. But you're proving my point for me. Like, you get what you're proving my point for me. Lobbying does nothing. What they do behind closed doors and the money that changes there is actually lobbying has really no effect.
And the point
it's literally misdirection.
Of course. But that's the whole point I was making, was like, I was make a lot of money. The lobby part was just to be silly, but it's all just part of the Dog and Pony Show. So I don't think they do necessarily nothing. They wash the money. There's a roulette table at the casino. Okay.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, you're proving the point for me in the aspect of lobbying doesn't do anything. It's about the other money that changes hands behind the scenes that you're not seeing. You know what I mean?
So,
you get what I'm saying?
So still,
lobbying is literally me putting on the show that I'm spending money to buy the government, but you're not seeing what I'm actually doing to buy the government. You get what I'm saying?
It's
misdirection.
It's a bigger middle finger. It's like, here, we're not even really spending money. We're just telling y'all this is what we're doing, and here's what's really happening back here.
But that's what I'm saying, is that it's just classic misdirection. If I'm sliding you $1,000 under the table, but I'm only giving you $100 above the table, people are only going to be mad about that $100 that they see above the table. They don't know how much I'm sliding underneath the table.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's a big middle finger, bro.
Yeah, but
hold on.
If you're looking at this hand, you're not looking at this one.
Here's the thing, though, and here's the level it's got to, though. It's blatant. So the whole under the table thing is like, I'm giving you 100 with my left hand, and over the top of that, I'm handing you 1,000. And I don't care. You can get mad. You're still broke.
Okay.
And you suck, and you. That's how blatant it is now.
Here's the side note, though. And my other argument as to why people don't understand that lobbying really doesn't do that much. Do you know how much money AT&T spent trying to acquire T-Mobile?
No, I don't.
They spent over $500 million.
Lord.
They lost $500 million because that deal fell through. If I'm AT&T and I'm a billion-dollar company and lobbying buys the government to allow me to do whatever I want, and I was willing to spend $500 million to try to acquire this company, and they're like, well, I don't know, you haven't really lobbied enough because you need to lobby for the bribe money. Do you really think a company is willing to lose $500 million when they could just slide more money into that lobbying to make that go through? That's kind of what I'm saying.
Companies are willing to lose a lot. Companies are willing to lose a lot because I guarantee they're probably like $500 million business need write-off.
They
just get it all back.
So, I mean, what Devin just said, I'm sure whenever you said AT&T did a bid for T-Mobile, or they did lobby.
Yeah, they lost like $500 million in that deal.
Okay. So I'm sure Sprint did, and I'm sure Verizon did, and I don't know what other companies. Dude, I'm sure they all threw their hat in the ring. If it was that big of a deal, $500 million, they all threw their hat in the ring. They had to have.
Nope.
Why would they not?
Yeah,
Not during the original merge. So that's the thing, though. If lobbying equals you win the argument, and AT&T, I'm pretty sure we're the only telecom company valued at a couple $1 billion a year.
Verizon is actually worth more. If you look at the stock, it's double.
Stock doesn't matter or anything. I'm talking profit reports and stuff like that. I'm talking like amount of money they actually legitimately make.
Oh, okay. I thought stock was
theoretical.
Stupid.
Not what people think the company's valued at or anything like that. But if that company is making a couple $1 billion, and all these little companies are saying, nay, they can't do that. If I have the money and money really buys that decision, why didn't they just throw more money on the deal? You know what I mean? If it was something they were really wanting, why didn't they throw more money at it? You know what I mean? Like, that's where that argument to me comes up of like, lobbying really isn't it's not buying the government the way people think. Like, it just doesn't work.
Dude, and that's the thing. We're not saying that either. Yeah, I think it's again, like we established, it's just a show. But like, and the point I was making too just recently is that like at this point in time and in our history, it is blatant. Like I said, they're just handing you the 1,000 over your left hand. Like, actually, you're not going to do anything about it because you can't. You know what I mean? Like they used to like. They used to be more covert. Now it's like, yeah, we really don't care.
Well, dude,
we know you know
like,
the game.
That's just like, I don't know. That's my problem with like people is like how many people are just like, oh, it's bought and paid for, but like you ask them about it and it's hard for them to really cite or show you proof of stuff like that. Like it's weird to me. Like if you look at lobbying dollars, it doesn't equal out like to where they're buying it.
Yeah,
there's something else
fine.
that we're not seeing, and that's what bugs me.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, there was Jamal. He's a billionaire. He was one of the founders of Facebook. He said it in an interview in front of a crowd. He's like all politicians are puppets. He's like if you play in any of that, you have to understand they're all puppets. The real money is in the control of the wealth. He's like, all I'm trying to do is increase my net worth so I can get into these rooms. There's about 150 people that control the world, and they all laugh. He's like, you're laughing. I'm being serious. About 150 people. You don't know any of them. And he's like, and he's a billionaire, and he's not even in these rooms. Like, that's the amount of wealth unlisted. It's like scary. Like, there's
Trillions,
probably still
dude.
trillionaires. There's probably a few trillionaires. Probably multi-billionaires, but there's probably a few like single like trillion.
I honestly would not be surprised.
Dude,
really think about it, Clayton. I mean, there's so many offshore bank accounts, so many tax like evasion. Like, if you think about the royal bloodlines rolling down,
here's my
from
thing.
the past centuries, so much wealth was consolidated that stayed consolidated.
I don't think you're understanding how much a trillion is. You know what I mean?
It's a lot. I don't think there's a lot. There's maybe 1 to 3. Yeah.
That I don't buy. High billionaires that we don't know about, yes, but I don't buy there's any trillionaires out there.
Oh no, I think I agree with that. There has to be 1 to 3. I would say even 5, bro. Apple's worth $1 trillion. Dude. Tesla's almost worth $1 trillion, and those are new companies. These are families that have been around, I would say, for 300-400 years that you don't even know about, like old school, like lords. Like that type of stuff, like in the dark ages, like when everyone's just like, yo, I'm a lord now because I got money, you people are my slaves, like
dude, it's
like
just,
that type is carrying down,
bro,
dude.
No, I feel like it's just something everyone tries to convince themselves of because it literally comes down to looking for someone to blame. It's the same thing with believing there's a global cabal because I can't make it anywhere, so I believe in that. It's like, dude, I'm sorry.
But hear me
those
out,
those lords and ladies that you're talking about, you can follow their bloodline. You can see where their money goes. It's not like it's hidden. You just have to do research.
The money's hidden now, though. So what's to say it wasn't hidden back then? We don't know those 150
They
people.
did not have trillions of dollars back then. That wasn't a thing.
I'm not saying trillions, but I'm saying the equivalent of that. Like it could have been hidden. We don't know that.
I just don't buy it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I'm not sitting here like this is why I haven't achieved anything.
That's
I
not
think
what I'm saying
that
either.
has nothing to do with it. I'm thinking this is like a legit thing of like, why is it that governments move certain ways, that policies move certain ways?
I don't think
globally,
I don't think it has to do with anything of being a trillionaire. I don't think it has anything to do with that. All it takes, it literally, what you don't understand is it doesn't, like, how do I control, like, how do I keep control? Okay, I get money in the beginning to get control, but how do I keep that control going? Money can be taken from me. Okay, yes. Well, if I own this, like Carnegie, or I want to say it was it was Rockefeller or someone who owned the railway system, who controlled the railways.
Of industry, yeah.
Literally, it's things like that. It's not that they're worth trillions; it's that they control the vital organs. Like, that's what I see.
But yeah,
that's
almost.
I know,
same.
But I'm not. I'm not saying it's a trillionaire. We're just saying there's so much money, it's probably a trillionaire out there. It's the hidden billionaires that control how the things work. Because, like you said, okay, he's a titan of his industry.
See,
I get that, but
I can agree with those of having like billionaires out there, but to think there's trillionaires, no, sorry. I think it's more just rather I control the vital organs, and it doesn't matter how much money I have because I have those vital organs.
The only reason I think there could be a trillionaire is because there's companies nowadays that are less than 60 to 70 years, not even 100 years old, that are worth trillions, and there's family bloodlines that are 500 years old. And I know you're going to say, like, well, it's not guaranteed that's been passed down. You can follow the line. My family, bro, both my grandparents came from dirt, and I know they built up a fortune to pass down to us, and that's the mindset I have to pass down to the next generation.
You're saying
if that's been happening for hundreds of years,
I'm saying
because you have the family honor.
I'm saying your argument about because there's companies worth trillions. Do you know why those companies are worth trillion? Because they went public and people gave them that money. It has nothing to do with them actually having $1 trillion or anything like that. It's people just saying, "Yep, that's worth $1 trillion." They don't actually have $1 trillion. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's. I get what you're saying. Do they probably have great wealth? Yes. But to say that they have trillions, no. I can't buy that.
I don't know, man.
I can't buy that they have trillions. I can't.
I feel like it's an unfathomable amount.
That's why I'm saying I don't believe that it's possible for someone to have that much.
A country's 24 trillion. I feel like they have to owe it to someone. They have to owe it to someone.
Well, that comes down to they owe it to like institutions. Like, I forget what it is. Like, we own it to
which belong to someone. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, but it's like the Federal Reserve and stuff like that. And then the argument behind that is they technically. It comes down to what do you consider. Like, if I own all the people's debt in the world, technically, because I own that debt and they owe that money to me, I'm worth trillions of dollars. You get what I'm saying? Like, that trillions of dollars isn't really there.
You couldn't physically grab it, but you are worth it.
See, that's where I don't get into it. When it comes to something like the Federal Reserve, where they can just print off infinite money, I just, you know what I mean?
But they're not part of the government, bro. That's the craziest
That's what
thing.
I'm saying is that it's like a fictitious.
Who owns that?
It's a fictitious number that doesn't really mean anything.
But even aside from the trillionaire billionaire thing, a billion itself is hard to fathom. Like, there's a website you can do like how much is a billion, and it's crazy to visualize a billion. But again, with them being the movers and shakers in the vital organs, it's those saboteur is the wrong word. When there's a peaceful protest, there are companies that are hired to send in people who make it unpeaceful. And it's like, okay, who's paying for that? And why is that a thing? You know what I mean? It's like, well, because I don't like the protest. I don't like what they're peacefully protesting. So, and then now the media, they're like, hey, media company that I own, because I own all of you, get on site. Make it look worse.
So, like, that's my thing, though. Like, if you control the vital organs, you don't have to be worth that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if I have a gun to your head, Quentin. I have a gun to your head. I can make up whatever number I want that you have to give to me. You know what I mean? Because I control that vital organ. You know what I mean? So technically I'm worth that much. You know what I mean? If you're being held hostage, technically any number can be created.
If you run the media and you run the government, you can create any number as well.
That's where I'm saying anything. It's like, dude, it has nothing to do with actual value. It's just controlling organs at that point.
Well, like, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is like,
if you control several of those organs, you're worth multi-billion.
Yeah, it's like crypto, dude. Like they're putting the value on it. People put the value. We put the value on stuff. No, value doesn't just appear. Like we're just like the Pokemon cards. We're like, whoa, we're willing to pay a lot of money for that. Like just because.
Yeah, but when it gets to businesses. When it gets to businesses, like a lot of these, it's not, we collectively decided always the case. These media companies are worth billions because they make hundreds of millions in revenue and in profit. So it's like they have an established network. We didn't vote for, CBS to have that much money. They just, some billionaire we'll never know about, actually owns it, and the person that actually owns it doesn't really own it. like
through profits and assets.
But I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think everyone considering like there's a global cabal and everything out there it's like a boogeyman. It gives you it like, dude. Sorry to burst the bubble, but bro, we can barely even deal with each other throughout the ages. You expect me to believe that there is a room of 150 billionaires that all keep quiet and is never getting leaked anything on it?
I could. Yes.
Yeah, I could. I absolutely could. Because, I mean...
There's only one way to keep us... honest. There's only a way, like, I forget what it is. There's only a way that 3 people can keep a secret, and that's if 2 of them are dead. Like, it's...
I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing. That guy's not keeping a secret. That's the thing. That guy's not keeping a secret. He's like, I'm telling you right now, there's 150 people.
Society.
He's not going to sit here and be like, here's their names, and I'm going to put a target on my back, and you won't see me in 5 months. Why are China's billionaires disappearing? They're going
exactly. That's what I was just about to say, bro. Like, why did the Chinese billionaire disappear?
And here's the thing. Clayton, I agree. I don't know about the certainty of a one world government because we all fight.
No. Yeah.
But there is a small collective that controls the wealth. A lot of China's billionaires are disappearing.
Yeah, I want to say too, Clayton, I do agree as well. I don't. Yeah. Same thing. I don't think it's like a one world government, but the group of billionaires, maybe they might be from different cultures and countries, but they're not concerned about government. They're concerned about profit and control. Like they're not like, oh, I'm from America and I'm from Russia and I have different beliefs. Like they don't care about that. They are way past that.
But
yeah.
I mean, that's even then, like bringing that up, that brings up the same thing. Take the word government out of it. Any idea of a group of people being together, like even just think about your company that you work for and how many different stores you have and how many different stores can't stand other stores, right? Y'all all do the same job. Y'all all have the same goal, right? Yeah. Make money, make a paycheck, get paid. Y'all can't even get along. So you expect me to believe that there is 150 people this high up who can get along when they are all after the wealth and there's no greed to them wanting to take each other out.
I've never had an issue with getting along with another store. It's only been like, oh, I hate that store because I want to do better. It's never been like, oh, just completely. I hope
before we go down.
It's never
before we go down the competition rabbit hole. These 150 people, they're obviously in search of power and more money. They're literal scum. You don't think that one guy, let's just a hypothetical, is a table that holds all 150. He's looking at the under 149, like, how am I going to screw all these guys over and kill them eventually? Or they're all like at the table, they're all fake. They're like, yeah, we're doing this to make more money. But everyone in the circle is like, I would kill all these guys if I got the chance. Like they're all backstabbers. So yeah,
they're all
but they're all in the same club.
They don't care.
They're in the same club.
So what you're trying to convince me is that there's honor among thieves.
Pretty much.
No.
I mean, it's like okay, we're in the group. We're gonna control the wealth. We're gonna make the money. But off record, I would kill all of you if I could. They all probably do think that.
Dude,
like if I had a chance to be number one.
Honestly, it's just like working in a company. It's just working in a company. You have all your coworkers, and you're all competing. You're like, I love you, bro. You're getting drinks. But then you're thinking in your head, like, I'd take that promotion. I'd go for that interview, even if fucking Jim's going for it over here. I'm going for it. And that's going to be my promotion.
Here's my
thing.
That's
going to be,
here's my thing. To get to the point that you have that much wealth, you are ruthless. You are so smart that you understand.
No.
Wait, quiet. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
So when it comes down to it, when you are that high up, it's the same reason that there are people out there who are like, man, I don't understand how come these billionaires just don't help other people. Because to get to that point, you have to be ruthless and you have to care about no one else but yourself. So think in that mindset. If I am that wealthy and my whole goal is getting wealthier, why am I looking at how to steal it from these little people when I have 149 members next to me and I just got to figure out how to steal it from them?
Dude, okay, here's the thing.
Well, because
why not go for the bigger fish?
Hold on.
First off, just because you have wealth does not mean you're smart. I'm just going to say that. Just because you have wealth does not mean you're smart.
I think yes, but
I'm
that
not
level,
arguing that.
Level, you're probably smart. That level.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, why? Like, if they're that smart, how come they're not looking to target each other and go for the bigger fish?
Because it's easier to target the masses. They're the economy. They're the backbone. They're the producers. We're the resources.
But
Dude,
so there's
about,
there's 100. I just can't buy it.
I know you can't, but hold on. I know you can't, but think about.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Subconsciously, they would all kill each other if they had the chance. But they know, again, it's the part of the club. If you go against one of us, all 149 of us that did not are going against you, and now your family has lost all of its generational wealth, and you will be died. Your whole bloodline will be removed. So it's like it's like a gang. It's like a low-level street gang. It's such a high level that it's a respect. I guess honor among thieves, but like it's a respect of like disrespect as well. Okay, I want to stay in the club, and I want to know all the world's secrets, right? And I want to continue my generational wealth and make sure my family is okay. Okay. Off record, I'd kill all of you. But I know if I try that, and I know if I try to come after your family, the rest of the group is going to take me out. Okay, so that's a dumb move. That's a dumb chess move because I'm smarter than that. Like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Okay.
Hold on.
Me, you, and five of our friends are sitting in a circle.
I get your argument.
I pull out a knife. Y'all are bum rushing me.
I get your argument.
Right.
Let's hear it.
But in the same situation, if we all have the ability to take each other out, it's like the argument of nukes. If why don't I just if I'm gonna nuke you versus everyone else, if I can nuke quicker than you, no one will care what you have to say. You know what I mean? So that's where I have a hard time trying to kind of buy it when it comes to something like that. Like, I get what you're saying is like, well, 149 outnumber you. Okay, but if 149 of us can take each other out, then technically I should have the power to be able to take out the other 149. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because it's mob mentality.
Yeah, not necessarily. Dude, yeah, because if you could nuke a country and be like, oh yeah, whatever they do doesn't matter, and they could just be watching their imminent threat and be like, you know what, man, we're going out with a bang. We're just sending all our nukes out to every location it was already targeted to. Like that's going to be.
That's
a wash.
What I'm saying
like,
though is if I get my nukes off first and quick enough, you can't respond. Is kind of what I'm trying to say.
They can't.
That had to be super fast. Dude.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying that, but using that as an example, as far as like, if I have 149 members in a room and I have the ability to take them out, and they have the ability to take me out, if I'm quicker on the draw, I win. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's hard. For, like, I understand your argument of the group thought idea and everything like that. It's just hard for me to believe that there's 150 people out there trying to control the wealth. Like, it just, like,
I don't understand why that's hard to believe,
because like,
everybody wants to be number one.
I guess it's more harder for me to believe because it's one of those things that it's so stupid to me to pretend like it's a thing, because even if it is, you can't do anything about it. So why are you wasting brain power on it?
Not true.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Not true.
If 150 people own like generations more wealth than you, Quentin, I don't care what your opinion is. If that's me.
Wait,
I mean? I have enough money that I can literally have you contracted, killed, and still be able to pay off my charges.
Hear my rebuttal. My rebuttal to that is the most powerful nation in the last 270 years. The United States of America had an insurgency led by their own president, and the capital was taken for 12 hours in the most powerful military in the world. We can take 150 families if the entire world really wanted to. Like, 1,000 people took the capital, bro, of the most powerful nation in the world. What makes you think we cannot just all gang up on 150 people? Like, there's civilians.
Hold on.
There's a civilian in America.
No, you are making a horrible argument.
You owned a tank.
You are making a horrible argument.
Stop.
So
Stop. No,
so
you're banking they're in a room without security 50 feet away that you can't even see. And stop.
So,
Hold on.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is saying
if you can't change the way you feel about Schwinn and I's idea that there are people holding the world's wealth behind closed doors, is how you feel about democracy. Or how I feel about democracy. Sorry, because I'm like, it's literally pointless. You're not going to change it. So why try? And then that's your point about the hidden wealth. If you can't change it. It's the same. The way you're like, no, you change it through local government and it goes up. I'm like, dude, you can try that, but it comes back to big government and then the hidden government.
So here's my thing, though. Like, when I say that local governments and all that work, that does work. You can see it. It's slow. It is very slow. That's bureaucracy. But that system is literally built to do that. When it comes to the conspiracy theory of 150 people control the wealth, all right, cool. You could be upset as much as you want, but because they control that wealth, guess what? You cannot touch them. You cannot do anything, because at the end of the day, if I slid you $100 million right now and asked you to go kill someone and that money was on the table, you'd go do it. So, like, okay, well, we could rise up and beat them. Really? Because I've got money enough to pay all of y'all enough that you would never have to work again in your life to defend me.
No, there's no rising up and bum rushing them at all. No,
that's my thing. Like, you can't stop them. Like, so what is it? Why waste the brain power on believing that's a real thing?
No, it can be a real thing, but you can acknowledge you can't change it. Just like government could be a real thing, but you can acknowledge you couldn't change it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the same thing. It's the same. I'm not saying like, okay, I am not advocating bum rushing them. No.
Here's my
I feel very naive because
here's my other thing though.
I do feel like we could change government if we really wanted to. If we truly united, I feel like we could.
Well,
I'm naive for thinking that. Though.
So here's my thing: if you believe in that 150 people controlling the wealth,
I'm just speaking about my current country.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you believe that 150 people control the wealth, but you believe through the system of America you can change that. If 150 people control the wealth and you believe they have shadow governments and stuff like that, sorry, dude. Exactly. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a flaw in the logic. That's where I'm saying.
I wonder if that's why
top of
people
that,
say local matters, is because local is not controlled. Maybe it's only state and federal.
On top of that, too, like the other reason why I find it hard to believe is my question is to what? Like, what's their end game? Because I can't rationally think of what the end game is. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Like, they're just the end game to it. Okay, but if I'm one of the 150 richest people in the world to the point that I can buy and control nations, why do I care about making more? I've reached the end game.
Clayton, hey,
scorecard.
Why do you care about making more? Just like what we were talking about last week with the owning of a NFT or a rare Pokemon card. It's all about the flex. Even on the world scale, the world level, still about the flex. People want to be better than the other person. It's still a competition. No one feels like they're on the top. Even the person who is on the top of this entire planet Earth does not feel like they're on the top. That's the human mindset. You're always going to feel like there's someone else that has something you don't have. Even if people say, "Oh, the glass is half full," there's still a little bit of part of them that's like, there's something else I could gain. There's something else I could gain.
Your argument of your 150 people running the world government and everything like that, sorry, no. They've won. They've maxed out all stats. Like, no.
Wait, I'm not even talking about that, though. I'm talking about people wanting more. I'm talking about people wanting more right now. Like, people still wanting to gain more, even if they're at that point.
No.
You don't get to that level.
If you are at the
being
point.
Somebody who... you don't get to that level.
That's
being that person.
If you buy into that, though, what I'm saying is, like, what is the end game? It makes no sense. Like, that's what I'm saying. Their end game.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's hard for me to believe when you can't give me a rational
way
theory
past me.
on why. Exactly.
Here's another thing. Here's the other thing. Why would we deny someone who's actually a billionaire that's actually made movement and helped change the world, maybe for the worse? We're denying the words of a literal billionaire when none of us are worth even 6 figures. We're saying it's impossible. This guy's a literal billionaire and is like, dude, this is legit, and my goal is to be a part of that.
Okay.
And we're like, that's impossible.
Okay, let's also look at the fact that maybe it's the best joke he ever pulled that him and his buddies are laughing about super hard, just like Elon making fun of Dogecoin.
Okay.
Like that's my thing. Like it's just too hard for me to believe because I can't rationalize an end game to it. It's like the same thing with people arguing that straw manning a little bit, but it's like the same thing as people arguing that the earth is flat. Okay. To what end? What do they stand to benefit from that? If I'm on that top 150, what does it matter anymore?
The 150, I mean, to me, what would matter is keeping control. I mean, there's people who are dirt cheap poor who want to keep control in their one-to-one relationship or just in their household. Like, that's so important to them. It makes them psychotic.
I feel like if you're at the top of the 150, it kind of runs itself.
Does it? Does it, dude? Okay. I mean, do things really change?
It's 150.
You're saying to me, hold on. No. Yeah. So you're saying to me that out of these 150 people who have selectively bred and built this pure bloodline, every single one that has been bred is a hitter every single time? No fails? No weak ones?
No, I'm not saying
exactly what I'm saying. So if there's 150 of them, then it is a thing that runs themselves that they don't have to really do anything.
150 families, not individuals.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I don't even think it's 150 families, pure blood. No, I think it's 150 people, a mix of families, a mix of generational wealth, a mix of people who are at the right place, at the right time, with the right movers and shakers, who got appointed as billionaires of like, okay, we can trust you, you know, whatever the case may be, because they pay people, dude, you can look this up too. But they pay people to go into companies and tank them. Like there was a guy, what he would do is his group would get him on as the chairman of a company or a president of a company. He would tank the company and everybody lose their jobs and they buy it for cheap. Like this was a system. He knew what to do. He knew what to go in. And he talks about how, like, you know, they had these ideas of, they referred to humans as like capsules, or like something that was inhumane of like, this is going to cost us, you know, 30,000 capsules, but we're going to go ahead and do it. And how they had to present presentations of how they're going to destroy these companies. So, like, to think that it's not possible, there's, like, mysterious things at work. I don't think it's all royal blood. But I think some people who got in.
I don't know.
100, dude.
Here's my biggest argument against it. And
why don't you want to believe it?
Always my trap card.
Trap card.
Why is it that this guy got paid to go in and be, you know, do this? If all this stuff is so blatantly clear, why are you and maybe 500 other people the only people that know about it?
It's not clear.
No, it's not, dude. No, the video is probably like hundreds of thousands of views. And here's the other thing.
So how do you know that dude's not lying about anything?
Hold on. It goes back because the companies are actually destroyed. But
okay, how do you know it's just not the fact that he was bad at business and for some reason had the right connection to get in there every single time?
Yeah, like with an amazing track record of destroying businesses. But
maybe
here's the other thing.
Knows the right people.
Hey! I'm with you, Devin. But to defend Clayton Trump, he's failed many businesses, but he's still opening
People
more.
still think he's a genius, and he still gets to do stuff.
Yes,
like you get what I'm saying.
Happen.
Like
it does happen.
I understand your argument. It's just one of those things you will never sway my opinion on. I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't buy into that theory.
I know. You don't buy into it, but you've taken such a hard stance on it. Now you can. But the thing is, so with that guy who's like, you know, again, it's not me and 500 people. It's several 100,000 people. Here's the whole thing. It's that power again. It's like, well, you know, how do you know it's true? It's like, you can just look at the companies he destroyed. And it's like, well, if all these people know about it, why don't we do anything about it? Again, because it's blatant, because they don't care, because they know if you want to stand up to them, they can have you killed even if you get on the inside, or they can make you look crazy. They can pay to make you look crazy. They can pay to push you out of the media. Why does this happen to so many musicians and celebrities? Once they start speaking out, we're going to go ahead and silence you. Is it just a coincidence 500 times? It's just a coincidence that many times.
My thing is that it's
far-fetched. That's more far-fetched.
It just literally always comes down to the same thing of arguing Christianity. A lot of the plot holes and stuff that doesn't make sense.
No, that's not at all. No, that is not even close. That's not even close.
He spoke up and then randomly died. Oh, okay. People randomly die all the time. You're telling me all those people were connected? Like, dude, it's just...
What does Christianity have to do with 150 families running the world?
My argument is the same thing as like Christianity. When there is a plot hole in your argument, whoa, you just got to take it on power and control. Just like Christianity says, you have to take it on faith. Okay, so you can't give me any real explanations that make sense, so you create this broad one to make your argument make sense.
But then what is your argument for that the government's legit can actually change things and there's no money behind doors? It's the same thing. What's your argument that all of these things work? It's the same thing. You're like, well, there's structures in place. Sure. Yeah. To look good. Like what is this other one?
So like my argument.
What's the zero plot hole argument for you?
My argument when it comes to the local government and stuff like that is that you can look and see through that system actually being set up that it is built to change. Like, you can look at the system and see where it makes sense to be built as change. It's easy.
Local.
It is easy to look at a system and be able to pick out every single flaw in it. Just like it's easy for me when you give me this argument for me to go through and pick this problem here, this problem here, this problem here.
Okay, but what about state?
Okay,
and federal?
again. Okay, what about big government? Okay, like what is that?
That's just it. The idea behind our government is that you get a bunch of local governments arguing those opinions. So all those little groups all argue, they come to a conclusion. It's literally like just a pyramid going up. So this group of people want these. All right, cool. They came to this conclusion, comes here. And then you have that for each and every state and each local government. And eventually it just goes up the chain. So like, that's what I mean.
That's
like,
not how
the
it is.
system makes sense. No, you say it doesn't. Like, that's not how it is. It's just the fact of it is how it is. It is just people do not utilize that system because we've been taught to believe that it does not work.
Okay, and with all of those people coming to the same conclusions, how would that happen? There would have to be money behind certain people making certain decisions to not hurt certain businesses. This happened with marijuana. It was going to ruin textiles because of your government system. Okay, there was money at stake. Even right now, everything that happens, there is money behind it. So to think that there's all this money here, but to think some people don't control it, and it's like, again, it goes back to the rioters and making media coverage do it. Why do those things need to happen? Why are there people that need to be sent in to make peaceful protests non-peaceful? There's money behind a different agenda. So the same thing, that your system gets played with money. Like that's
I feel like it's creating an end game that I don't know. I just feel like it's adding a step that doesn't need to be there. Like, you can chalk it up to like, yes, money runs everything, but then you throw the end of like there's 150 people who control all the money, and it's like, could it not just be the fact that the system truly is what it is on the surface? We owe money to the Federal Reserve, and we have no way to make up that money, so we're constantly going in the hole. So obviously we have to be aware of the debt that's going to happen.
Who is the Federal Reserve?
Oh my God. Dude, if you look at the way the system was before the Federal Reserve, and the only reason the Federal Reserve is different from any other system that was there before is that America before that had a currency, correct? A currency that was backed by other companies like that. Every time we would go in debt to those companies, we were just like, all right, cool, we're going to change companies. Just like a person who has debt at like Sprint can still jump to AT&T, and then they can still jump to Verizon. It's the same thing. That's how it was before. The reason why we got screwed on the Federal Reserve, and it's the situation that we signed into an agreement with the Federal Reserve that we literally could not get out of, whereas before we had always kept ourselves a route to get out and go to a different place. So, like, to me, it literally, like, I don't disagree. Who do we technically owe the money to that owns the Federal Reserve? Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean there has to be a magical boogeyman behind it. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
The only reason I feel like there's a magical boogeyman is because, like, it's called the Federal Reserve, but it's not federal, and it's not part of the government, and the government's in debt to them. Like, none of that makes sense.
It's
for
just
the name, the title, what they do.
But you see though that that's kind of grasping at straws, right? Well, it's gotta be something because it's called federal, but it's not federal. So that means it's, you know what I'm saying?
Like, why would you?
I don't know if he's grabbing at straws. He's just pointing out the weirdness of it. It's Federal Express.
Yes, but because it's a little bit weird, that's where you have to believe there's a magical boogeyman behind it. Where to me, it doesn't have to be that way. Why can't it just be what it is? And that those decisions that we make in politics and everything like that, like we have groups of, people go in and protest. Well, because protests end up costing our government more money and we don't want to go more in debt. So it's like, why can't it just be something that surface level? Why does it always have to go 9 steps deeper on everything? You know what I mean?
Because there's still some board of members that the entire country of the United States is in debt to. That's private. That is a small group of like 20 people. And Devin's saying 150. And this is United States. The richest nation in the history of the world is in debt to a single institution. There has to be someone running the whole world, bro. Like,
so what I'm saying is the reason why it didn't matter before, and that we've always had other institutions outside the U.S. that backs our money and stuff like that. Like I was saying, we had other Federal Reserve type organizations. The only thing that's different is that we have a contract that we just can't walk away from in this one because of the way that it was worded out, that we can't just leave it. So
you're saying why would you want outsourced?
It's literally like them saying, "Hey, we're backing y'all, but technically we don't have to do anything." Like that $1 trillion that's there, because like, you know how everyone says the Federal Reserve doesn't make sense because our money's technically not backed by anything, so we can just keep printing the money. It's just that, like, everyone's like, this is why I can't believe in this global cabal end game, because like, here's the thing, like, everyone's so scared of the Federal Reserve that technically it's arbitrary. There's no actual value behind it. But then it comes down to the simple fact of like, okay, so let's say our debt finally gets big enough that they come through and they're like, what's the end game? Hey, we're foreclosing on you. Okay. So you gonna come and try to take my land? The money you have is arbitrary.
But say the Federal Reserve did say some stuff like that, like, hey, we're foreclosing on America. If we were just like, oh, okay, what are you going to do about it? That would make all of our money, all of our currency literally mean dirt. Like, we would be trading and bargaining.
What I'm telling you is our currency is already worth dirt, because the same thing we've said. What gives it value? The value that people see in it, right?
But my point, it's not worth dirt on the world stage. When Selena goes to Guatemala, dude, if you have American money, people are more willing to give you good service for that American dollar than they are for the quetzal from Guatemala. Or same thing in Mexico.
Why? Okay, hold on.
There is value behind it.
This is where
on
I'm
the worldwide
saying
stage.
It's an arbitrary value that people put into it. At the end of the day, the reason why everyone's like, okay, that makes more sense because it's American. Because we do a lot of trading and exporting and everything like that.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it realistically, why would you have any faith in the American dollar when it's trillions of dollars in debt?
I don't know.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's arbitrary. So it's just
because we won World War II, baby.
But that's where I'm saying, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So, like, what's the end game? So what happens if the Federal Reserve's like, all right, knocks on the door, all right, federal government, it's time for us to foreclose, and all the other countries that we're trading with and everything like that, do you think they're gonna just stop trading with us now based on the goods we give them and stuff like that?
No, but our currency would definitely drop. I feel like our value would drop.
Okay, cool. We'll switch to a different currency. Come exchange your U.S. dollars.
Would it really be that easy though?
So here's my thing.
We're switching, dog.
Considering the fact that it comes down to the simple fact of like the money is arbitrary because there's nothing backing it. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense if there was something actually backing it. It doesn't. If there was an actual like gold is backing this, so we can't just switch currencies because technically that would make sense. But because the numbers are arbitrary, okay, cool. It's like the same thing with like Bitcoin and everything like that. Why is it so expensive? Because it's a finite amount. So it's like, okay, cool. Instead, we're going to use this, but whatever the hell currency you want to call it, and we're only going to print off this much of it. It's up to y'all to decide the value of it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it sets us back, but you could technically do it. That's where it becomes hard for me to believe in this global cabal, because like it doesn't make sense to me when everything's arbitrary. You know what I mean?
Do see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying.
Okay.
It does make sense.
But everything is arbitrary, but why do we go to work? We need these arbitrary dollars.
Well,
And if there's no point in everything, then why did they make us Federal Reserve? What's that person's end game for making the Federal Reserve?
Okay. So I heard someone say, actually, it was Jordan Peterson. So he said they're talking about wealth, and he was talking about like people who say inequality, all that stuff, and with wealth and all that. And he was saying, he was like, listen, guys, he's doing one of his lectures. He was like, if there was not an enormous amount of wealth for doctors or people that practice health and medicine or people that do engineering and science and all this stuff, if there was no reward for all their hard work, who would be solving humanity's problems? No one. He's like, who's going to do that for free? 1 in a million. So there has to be a ridiculous amount of wealth for people who are going to solve problems. He's like, yes, there's going to be people who have, products that aren't solving problems that achieve that wealth, but that still has to be available for people who are solving humanity's problems. Because, like, say if I was a genius, but money was no object, what would encourage me to be like, oh, I'm going to go solve heart disease or whatever? Like, I don't care. Oh, there's $600,000 involved? Okay, maybe I care now. Like, what's the point? There has to be some sort of incentive. Humans are not these perfectly programmed beings that like, oh, we're always going to help each other out. That's just being naive. Yes, we have emotion for each other, but there also is always going to be incentive involved. There's those few people, like us three, like that we are willing to do things for each other without an incentive just for our own personal gain. But usually there has to be some sort of incentive. Like, why are you going to help someone? Why are you going to go to your job? Why are you going to do your side hustle? Why are you going to do anything? You're gaining something and that person's gaining something. There's always going to be a mutual benefit, or someone is gaining something. Almost rarely is anything done out of the greatness of someone's heart. Someone's just like, oh, I'm just a good person. It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There has to be incentive.
So, like, okay, and I understand that, right? I think people, it's one of those things where people go in with good intentions. I think when it comes to like a mayor, you're like, I want to make this town better, and I want to be recognized as somebody who helped this town. The further you go up, though, it's like you lose that along the way because you have to play the game. So do you think anyone at the top level that we know of publicly, right, someone like a president, how good-hearted do you think they are on the inside? Maybe even going in. But I think once they get in and they get behind the closed doors, and it's like, here's a few things, how things are going to run.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like at any level, not just America, any country whose leaders at the top, do you think any of them are like good-hearted people? They're destroyed at that point, right? You had, obviously, JFK has the secret society speech. And why did he die? I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist, but he had several times where he's like there's something going on here. We need to progress. We need to do hard things as a nation. We choose to do this. We choose to do those things and the other because they're hard. I totally butchered his quote.
The quote is
JFK
we do these
like
things not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
But because they're hard, right? Forward, like he's like this, you know what I mean? Like
that's not what you can do for your country, but not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
We're just misquoting JFK left and right. But yes.
I also want to point out before
JFK was like the last respected Democratic president.
I also want to point out before we move forward or anything like that, or before we call it ends or anything, a lot of it is I just enjoy playing devil's advocate for y'all. Because at the same time,
you are, Wags.
It's not fun if we all agree.
Dude.
So I want to point out.
No. Hey,
wait,
it literally comes down to that of me just playing devil's.
Are we really calling it quits? Because I want to go grab one more drink.
Yes,
grab a drink.
So we'll be calling it quits soon. Because dude, it's 12:30 and I got work tomorrow, bro.
Yeah,
you got 30 more minutes.
Get your drink.
You got 30 minutes.
Get your drink.
No.
Get your drink.
No,
I do not.
No. Okay, Wags said no.
Bro.
Oh. No, and then same here. No ill will. Yeah, like I enjoy the back and forth banter 100%. It's the whole and here's the thing, the points I'm making, 99%, I actually do feel that way, or maybe 95%. But yeah, I know there's no ill will. It's all just like us going back and forth. Like at the end of the day, like, I do
I'm
everything
not saying
I could.
it for you.
Yeah,
I'm saying it for the people listening, so they understand that, like, there are parts of that argument where you completely beat me, but it's also like I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, I don't full on take that stance. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you admit there's a few points that I had. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, as soon as you brought up like the music industry rabbit hole, it's like, okay, we went over this last week. I don't listen to music. I don't care if there's a music cabal. I'm not involved, so I'm fine.
Bro, you have good points. And playing devil's advocate is a good thing because it's a double-edged sword. It brings both sides of the coin, both sides of the sword. It's a great thing. Dude, you got me so excited talking to you about Trump and Obama and racism at the beginning. That was fun.
I'm still saying I'm right.
I love that.
That one wasn't even playing devil's advocate. Okay, that is actually kind of how I feel
debate.
On that. Yeah.
Dude, dude, Wags, I've always loved debating with you, bro. Even since back with like when Bernie. I remember when I was like hardcore. I was like, you have to vote. You have to fucking vote. And you were like, nah, dude, my vote doesn't matter. I'm like, Wags, you have to go vote. It matters. And you're like, dude. You're like, nah, dude, it don't matter, bro. And I remember I drove all the way up to Johnson County from Waco to write in Bernie Sanders. And I told you, and you made fun of me. You're like, yeah, it didn't even matter, right? I was like,
dude,
okay.
So my stance on that has since changed, but I do simply agree. I can see the logic behind it. If my state votes red and I vote blue, okay, like kind of it's a bit of a lost cause. But the argument that you get is that if you don't vote and everybody doesn't vote and everyone feels the same way as you do, the people who do vote get their vote and you don't.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it, but, like, at the end of the day, I just enjoy playing devil's advocate, because I also like to get you heated up, too. I could tell I was getting you riled, and you were getting me riled up a little bit.
Dude, that's how you always been, bro. You always be playing devil's advocate.
Because it's fun. Just like, dude, I used to do it with your mom, too. Whenever she'd go full-on Democrat against me, I'd be like, all right, going staunch Republican to make her upset. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, it's just always what I've enjoyed doing, because it's like, dude, it's no fun having a one-sided conversation where it's all moving in one direction. I like to argue back a little bit.
Honestly, it helps me learn. It helps me get a different perspective. Like, because you open up new avenues. You're just like, well, you feel this way, but really why? Or I feel this way because you feel that way, and you're making me feel that way. Because of your stupid stance.
It can also strengthen your point. Because then if someone brings up a decent question, you're like, you have to think about how to answer. And if you actually do answer it with a good point back, that's another, thing in your pathway that, like, if I actually have to have this conversation with someone, or if I feel like arguing on Facebook, I got a zinger,
Well, it's not that.
It actually helps you think about, why do I think that way? Because if you did change my mind, I'd be like, oh, okay. But if you don't change my mind, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's just like it's like training for the fight. You know what I mean? If you never train for it, you'll never be prepared for it. But I mean, even then, man, it's just fun playing devil's advocate. I don't truly hold all those stances, but it's fun to get y'all going and see the argument back and forth, because it's been a while since we've had a good back and forth like that. It has been a long, long time since I've been able to get y'all both riled up and both arguing.
I think I hold those stances. I think the only thing I think it's pretty obvious when I'm joking. At the beginning, when I was like, I don't like Biden's America, it's boring. But I also laughed when I said it.
Dude, that was hilarious, dude. But even then, man, I think we're kind of good to end it here. I don't know about you. You feel good to end it here? All right.
I'm fine, dude.